Zigamaboosh.
Wednesday night main event, baby. You know we come in hot like that. You know we come in hot like that, but crack me if you got him, son.
You know, Anth last week said he was going to handle the music, and guess what he didn't do today?
Oh, I totally forgot. Did I? No, I meant I was going to do the music at the end.
Oh, just to key us out?
What do I do that?
Yeah.
Do I do that?
Well,
but I had to hit that?
Yeah, but that's the red one is for main event. The blue one's for Sunday service.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you can't see?
Okay, so let me try it.
Say, you're fired, dude.
Oh, okay. I know how to do it now. Yeah. There we go. Okay, look at that. Learning on the job.
I was going to ask AJ this last time. Are those sunglasses AI sunglasses or are those real sunglasses?
It's just a filter. It's a new filter on Zoom.
Oh, sweet.
Crack me if you got him, son. Crack me if you got him.
And our boy Baji says to boosh or not to boosh?
Oh, you boosh. Mark? Wednesday night main event. We're all booshing. Welcome to the Cowboys Can Fan Show. We are 1 week away from the NFL draft, gentlemen. I'm getting excited. How are you guys feeling?
Is it draft day yet?
It's almost.
Yeah, I'm excited because we've been now we're waiting. It's like that 1 week before where it's like if it would have hit this week, it would have been perfect, our lead up. But now we have three more shows. 3 more shows. Tonight's show, Sunday show, and then Wednesday night.
Including today. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, you know.
AJ, you excited? And you're home. You're home soon.
Yeah, are you
home? I'll be home on Tuesday.
Okay.
Next week.
Just in time for the NFL draft. So did you kind of planned your trip, your Southeast Asia excursion around the NFL season and around CanFan schedule, like our heavy schedule a little bit, didn't you?
As he should have.
I did. I mean, now I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm almost home. Am I going to miss being out here? But I get to come right back to, one of the most important times of any team's upcoming season, the NFL draft. I get to step into that dusty ass chair. Or no, I got a new one, which I haven't tried out yet.
Yeah, but my ass has probably dented it a little bit too much for your bum.
Well, the key for this one, AJ, is in the next room I have those little pads for those other chairs. You got to put a pad on that one for draft week. It's too long to sit into that, and your bony little butt. You have no meat. You have no meatsicles, even though you've probably been squatting and building out those glutes. But you definitely need something for that bum's.
Well, it's going to be, Ad's got a good point. It's going to be grueling for the Can Fan guys because we have our draft extravaganza starting on Thursday, April 25th, and we will be live streaming the whole entire NFL draft, rounds 1 to 7, all of it. We will be here the whole time.
Even the rounds that the Cowboys aren't drafting will be here.
We have lots of people, lots of guests. We've built a pretty good show. It's going to be pretty entertaining. It was a great time last year, and we hope to build on that from a year ago.
Sunday, should we go through guests and schedule and stuff?
Yeah, we could go through the schedule.
A good pick on Sunday.
Well, we have a Wednesday night show also. We could do that on the Wednesday night show. But, fellas, so Cowboys talk, Cowboys news. Not a whole bunch. It's kind of right now a little bit quiet, to be honest. NFL news in general, the big wave of free agents have happened. We're not really in the second wave of free agents yet. But the Dallas Cowboys did, in fact, sign their second free agent of the offseason, and it was running back Royce Freeman, guys. So it's only the second one that the Cowboys have signed this year, so that makes it pretty big news, but it's also kind of like type thing. Like, realistically, the headline here reads, Dallas Cowboys signed running back Royce Freeman, so don't expect Ezekiel Elliott to return, which is true. I think that's a pretty safe bet that we're not going to be bringing Ezekiel Elliott back, and I think that's the safe bet. But for anyone thinking that this Royce Freeman signing is anything other than a guy to battle with our soon-to-be drafted running back in training camp, it is kind of lost. But AJ, what do you think? Anything to be excited about this Royce Freeman, or is it just a body to go into training camp with?
Well, I'm excited to be screaming out "Rejoice for Royce" when he gets a touchdown.
Yep.
Okay.
Royce to 5'9".
What I like about Royce is he's 238 pounds, at least on paper here, 6 foot 238. He is that big body red zone threat that we've been looking for.
Yep.
And that's where I feel he's going to fit in with the team. Just having a quick look at Rico Dowdle here as well. Dowdle's 5'11", 215 on paper, so maybe he's fluctuated a little bit there. So noticeably smaller, and that's a nice combination right there. If you believe, like I do, and I think you guys do, like we want to see what Rico Dowdle can do, and this also doesn't eliminate any sort of potential running back signing, drafting a running back. So I'm all for it. We needed it. We needed this.
It's just funny, like, for all the talk that we talk, like all the players that we all, kind of fawned over for running backs who we all wanted in the offseason. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler. There was tons. There were so many running backs that we all wanted as Cowboys Can Fan crew to get, and we end up signing Royce Freeman. So it's just kind of funny. And
honestly, I like Royce Freeman better than Zeke Elliott. Shoot me if you want, but I like the youth here.
Well, I do like, that's interesting because we're gonna kind of compare them a little bit here. So he was drafted in 2018. We're looking at PFF's right now. PFF's kind of profile of him. You already said his size. His 40 time is 4.54. Played for the Ducks, the Oregon Ducks. Was drafted by the Denver Broncos in the 3rd round at selection 71. Kind of around the area where the Cowboys are looking to draft this year, a running back, possibly round 3, pick 87. So he was taken a little bit higher than that. His carries last year, he had 77 carries, 319 yards, 2 touchdowns, but a 4.1 yards per carry. And I think that's a crucial stat when it comes to any running back, right? Like they can't garner how many carries they're going to get, right? All they can do is grind out when they do get them. So anything over 4, we've always talked high about a 4+ yards per carry. And then they have his player grades. He's got overall 74.3, his rushing was 78.1, and his receiving 46.1. So he's not bringing much in the receiving game, but as far as his passing grade, like there's nothing showing there that's to be upset about. So it's not a terrible signing. It's just not really one that anyone would have ever thought of, or it's just kind of for Cowboys haters and people that want to kind of poke a little bit of fun at the Cowboys. This feels like that pick is perfect for them. Right?
Totally. Like it's like one of those, would be nice to see if we were making other moves.
Well, we're about to make moves, hopefully.
About to make some booshes?
We're hoping to make some moves. Well, I'll ask you as far as, because this is so close to the draft week away, and I kind of said it already, but I want your guys' thoughts. Do you feel like this affects the Cowboys' strategy going into the draft when it comes to running back?
That's a good question. I think it slightly lowers the need, only because there's another veteran in that running back room. But again, it's going to just come down to we've done, I don't know, let's say close to between 50 to 60 mock drafts probably between all of us this year.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to have a big enough effect. And if there's a run on running backs at any point, then yeah, the Cowboys are going to have to make sure they change their plans and move up and grab the guy that they're looking for, because we've got 3 chances in the first 3 rounds, and then we're sitting out for a long time until we get that consolidation or whatever compensatory pick in the 5th round. So
I think we have 2. I think we have a comp pick in the 5th and the 6th, but still, I know what you're saying. It's still a while until you get any of those.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
It definitely means that we're probably not seeing a running back go in the first couple rounds.
Really? You don't think the Cowboys take a running back in the 2nd or 3rd still?
A 3rd? I'm thinking 3rd. Jenkins Gaming's brought up the 3rd round. I feel like 3rd is probably where they're going to settle. We're not going to see, I don't think, one in 1 or 2.
I'm definitely thinking Cowboys go running back in the 2nd round.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm having a strong. Oops, that's not the right. That's Dustin Vaughn. Sorry. I definitely think the Cowboys take a running back at least if it's not the second, they're going in the third. I think there's going to be a bigger run on. I think there's going to be a bigger run on running backs than people expect. Because here, let me give you some stats here as I was stat Jaying my way.
He was
in the background here.
Just as you're about to get back, Jay, Ant's just stepping into this producer vibe. And
I'm just grueling.
Then he's going to be back over on the fucking couch.
I can't wait to be just drinking and letting AJ do his thing. You do his thing.
Definitely not drinking watermelon nudes. These things are disgusting.
They're gross.
They are so gross.
I told you they're gross.
Oh.
But okay, so you guys are comfortable right now with Royce Freeman, who had 77 carries last year. Come on.
Okay, go for it.
Let me finish. Can I finish? So we have Royce Freeman, 77 carries last year. We have Rico Dowdle, 89 carries last year. And Deuce Vaughn, 23 carries last year. That doesn't scream for me saying, hey, we're comfortable. That's looks to me as they're trying to find who their RB2 is between those three guys, not their running back one. The running back one is not on this team. And like Royce Freeman has played for 3 other teams. So it's not like it's not like he's moving on from his first team. It's a nice added piece. I think he'd be a great piece to complement a speed guy. Like if they went with Jalen Wright, this signing to me says maybe they're more likely to go with an agile runner like Bucky Irvin over a Trey Benson or over a Braylon Allen. Cause now they already have that meat stick in Royce Freeman, who's a big beefcake. Right. So this just shows to me the signing is out of the 3 guys we have on our roster right now, which guy is going to be the dude to win that RB2 spot. And
which guy?
And to find that RB1, you got to still use a high draft capital pick, which to me, if they're seeing Jonathan Brooks or Trey Benson staring at them at pick 56, I could see the Cowboys saying, let's boosh it.
Because you don't think Allen's going to be there at 87?
Allen might be. I don't think Benson or Brooks will be. I don't think Benson Brooks will be there. And then again, if you go to Allen and maybe in the 4th, the draft is pretty deep with running backs, but I think the Cowboys take a running back in the 2nd. That's just what my balls are feeling. Like I can feel it when I'm thinking about it. I can feel it in my balls.
Because you got two balls, 2nd round.
That's what I look down. I'm like 2 balls. That's 2nd round for a running back.
That's your name used to be Balls Mahoney. That's for sure.
It is, yeah. AJ, what do you think? What round are you thinking they're going to target running back?
I got the same vibe that as when the Cowboys signed Kendricks. Funny that it's the only 2 free agents that they signed. What I felt when they signed Kendricks is like, okay, this gives them a little bit of a longer leash that they may not draft that linebacker in those first 3 picks. They might go out and try to find a steal in the from the 5th round on. If I'm weighing both of those needs, it's running back. We need a solid running back to come in and be that number 1. With the current running room, like I said, I would love to see what Rico Dowdle can do, but that's a big question mark. And the battle, if we end up with a 3-headed monster or like a standout number 1, and then Royce Freeman and Rico Dowdle kind of shoring up that RB2 position, that's the best combination the Cowboys can create for themselves in the backfield.
Yeah, any 3-headed monster that gets Deuce Vaughn off the roster is probably a good thing. And I know there's probably still a lot of Deuce Vaughn fans out there because he didn't really get a big chance last year, but there's a reason for that. And I'm not going to open the can of worms of the Deuce Vaughn conversation, but I'm going to go back to what you said about when they signed Kendricks. And you're like, well, that definitely, when Kendricks got signed, I felt the same thing. Like that made me feel like linebacker maybe now went from a first round need to could float between 2nd and 5th, right? The difference between Kendricks and Royce Freeman is Kendricks has played at a Pro Bowl level, right? So he's shown it. So, and he's a bit older, but he has shown that he's capable of playing at an Pro Bowl level, where Royce Freeman's just he's been kind of just a piece that's there. So
Speaking of pieces,
we
got a hot piece of ass in Barry Grant Jr. who just showed up.
Barry Grant with the run-in.
Just a run-in. And he's ready to, and I don't know if he can hear us.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Can you hear nothing?
He can't hear.
Oh, he can't hear. So we'll let Barry Grant Jr. figure out his audio.
It's like he ran in, but just ran into the ring and then ran back out. That
Yeah.
was the run in.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
you.
All right, great.
There he is. What up, BGJ? What's happening, bro?
Hello, my brothers.
Man, it's been a while. Barry Grant Jr. of the All Even podcast. It's we were just saying this. You're doing a run-in.
Yeah,
a
definitely
WrestleMania
crashed
run-in.
the party. Definitely crashed the party.
How you been, buddy? It's been a minute.
Extremely tired. I just had another victory on the 8 o'clock spot. So please, you guys,
God.
for people who have never seen that show, it's a real fun show. Go ahead and check that out for the grid. But yeah, I'm just running around, just came off of WrestleMania, still high off that. Yeah, so having a lot of fun.
Barry, how shitty is Philadelphia?
It's the worst. The absolute worst. Like I'm telling you, when I got there, I was like, is this it? Like the football field is on like a corner and there's like a alleyway down the left side. It's just like, yeah, it makes sense that they would have a shitty alleyway right next to the football field. And then you go to the right of you and there's Citizens Bank Park where the Phillies play. And I'm just like, makes sense that you would have that dump next to this particular field as well. And then when you go a little bit down the road, it's where the Philadelphia 76ers play. And I'm just like, looks like a parking lot. So it's just everything about the entire area is just gross. I couldn't wait to leave. But yeah, mainly was fun.
Yeah, but I mean, you went to WrestleMania. The funny thing is you had posted a video on, I think it was your Instagram, and it was just kind of like you kind of did a, what is that called? Give me the
like
camera.
a
pano shot. And I was just like, I think I was at work, so I didn't hear it with sound or where the hell I was. Yeah, I was working. And I'm like, where the fuck is Barry at? It looks like a shithole. And then the next clip I seen, you were at WrestleMania in Philadelphia. It was kind of like a light bulb moment for me. I was like, oh
yeah.
okay.
I mean, like,
sense.
when people are not in the stadium, it looks like shit. But when people actually filled it up, they did a great job of cleaning that place up. It's like, when you get that that scandalous woman and you try to clean her up and make her a housewife. That's what WWE kind of did with the Lincoln Financial.
They succeeded. So Barry, we were just talking about the Dallas Cowboys' huge signing recently in Royce Freeman. And I was kind of asking the guys if they thought that this was going to impact the Cowboys draft strategy come in a week's time. Do you think this is just a safety net, or do you think it's their answer?
I know. I think it doesn't impact their strategy at all. It's one of those things where you're going to see Dallas be very aggressive at running back because who knows? Royce Freeman might not even make the team. We've seen Jerry do a lot of crazy things where guys just don't work out. Like Royce Freeman, he's been very often injured in his career, right? Like he came up, he had potential. Denver thought he was the answer, but he's just never really shown enough to be able to say, that's my guy, right? And this is why he's out there and available. And, Jerry got him at the bargain that he got him at, right? So it's more of a prove-it thing for Royce Freeman to see if he can be able to make the team because, rookies, what you're going to get out of them in regards to they're going to work hard to have their spot. But a guy like this that's literally fighting for his spot to be in the NFL going forward, I don't know what to expect out of him. He can have a very good preseason and, be the guy, or can really look very mediocre and be on the chopping block.
Oh man, Ant's looking at the stats right now in producer.
Yeah, here I'll bring it over here.
They are not good.
So here you go. So the crazy thing is, I said 3 teams. I was wrong. So Royce Freeman's actually been on 4 teams. He was drafted by the Broncos in 2018 in the 3rd round at pick 71. Then he went to the Panthers, then he went to the Texans, and then he went to the Rams. The most concerning thing to me, and I mean, early in his season or in his career, is you're going to see the most carries because they're trying to figure out if they scored on their 3rd round pick. So his carries actually went down until last season, where he had his most carries since basically 2019. But between 2020 and 2023, and like Barry had said, this might be because of injuries, not a whole lot there. So I'm pretty sure the Cowboys are just trying to get a depth piece and throw up a little bit of a Hail Mary type thing. And who knows? Maybe he ends up being a stud, right? Like, even if he could come in and get 132 carries, 500 yards, and a couple touchdowns in key situations for what they paid, I don't think that's a terrible thing, but it's not the answer.
Yeah,
look,
100%.
I'd be happy with between 75 to 100 carries. If he's carrying the ball 132 times, I mean, I think that's a little bit of a no bueno scenario because of the other dudes. And Cowboys Reg mentioned it earlier. We haven't heard a peep about Davis. You know, I couldn't say his first name because I knew you guys would rag me about not knowing how to say his name. But yeah, like
Malik.
Malik.
There you go.
I knew
You just
That
needed
is.
me to say Malik.
Yeah. So look, there is like interesting unknown potential in the Cowboys backfield, but we can't deal with that. Last year we had Tony Pollard, who for all our money leading up to last season, we were all stoked. Okay, this is his time to shine. And I'm not knocking him. He had a very good average season, but obviously that wasn't his role. Either it was a Cowboys O-line or scheme thing, or it's just that's not where Tony Pollard shines. He needs like a Zeke. He needs someone out there to help grind that defense down a little bit so he can find the holes and pop through them.
Grind those holes. So I have some highlights, and I don't know. I'm kind of testing this out, fellas. I want to see if we're gonna get flagged here. I got it extra zoomed in, no sound. Let's see what happens. But this is Royce Freeman's highlights from last year. Let's see what happens. Grab yourself a Chang's. Oh, what did I do? Oh, here we go. So there's going to be no sound, but let's just see. Takes a little toss, runs, drops. Okay, a little bit of burst.
Okay.
I don't mind that. He had a little bit of burst there. So this is against Seattle.
Well, there was 1/3 of his yards for the season.
Pretty much. Running tough, though. And number 24, you don't see the number 24 often. Ooh, that's a tough run. So this is all against Seattle. They're giving us something.
They're boosting it.
I don't know if I want to go anymore, but what do you guys think about that? It's like AJ said, 1/3 of his rushing yards came in 3 plays, but they were a good 3 plays. And Seattle's defense wasn't terrible last year either. But I don't know. The Cowboys might have just seen something that they liked out of this dude, and it's kind of funny how this is the Cowboys' only second signing of the offseason more than anything.
Yeah, I know what they liked. The price.
Yeah. Bargain Bazaar, is that what you, Barry said this multiple Bargain Bazaar?
We are the New England Patriots dynasty of Bargain Bazaar shopping.
Without the Super Bowls.
We go ahead and find that bin of, the Nike shoe, and you gotta dig and see if you can find the other one. That's what we do. We tend to look in the garbage pile and hope that, we end up finding something that makes Jerry look like a genius. That's pretty much what we do.
I'm trying to think of like in the last 10 years where a situation where it's worked out for the Cowboys. I mean, the one that sticks out to me is Rolando McClain in 2014. That was one that kind of stepped up, and he was the middle linebacker, and he had a pretty good season. But for the most part, you think back to these weird signings that the Cowboys do, and can you guys think in the last, since CanFan's been around, can you think of a guy that the Cowboys got in this bargain bin that Barry's talking about?
Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones, who didn't even make the team. That's kind of how this one feels a little bit. A little bit of a Ronald Jones. And Ronald Jones, in my mind, has a better chance of making this team than Royce Freeman would.
Royce to 5'9".
It's smarter. It is smarter to build your team through the draft, no doubt. That's where you can save your money and really hit on like special players. But you can't rely on your draft to consistently produce those starters for you year after year, right? If you hit on one player in a draft, I think everyone thinks, okay, that's good. 1 of 7. Obviously, you'd love to hit on your first 3 picks if you can, and then have a couple guys who can show up on special teams, fight their way into the starting lineup after a couple years. But that's been the issue with the Cowboys over the last whatever 3 seasons that I've watched, and probably, since beyond that. But they just are stuck in that idea that, don't worry, we're going to draft the players that we need. Tyler Smith was a big hit, right? That was awesome. Last year, big fumble. And maybe our perspective will change if Mazi Smith has a great season and an Overshown comes in and is not and is who we all thought he was and not affected by that injury. But yeah, it's not a great tactic for making a Super Bowl run, especially when you have these great pillars in place in Diggs, in Lamb, and in Micah Parsons. Dare I say, Barry, and in Dak Prescott.
The hot button.
Don't rev him up.
Don't rev him up. It's a hot button issue.
Don't do it. I got the glasses right here. You see right there. Don't let me tap into that tonight. I'm trying to be nice.
Well, we're gonna be tapping in. Trust me, because we need to get your thought on that.
For me, with going back to the Royce Freeman thing, I'm sure you guys want to move on, but it's the fact that he's 28 years old. Like we got to remember that this is not a guy that is 23, 24, and this is kind of like the last legs of his NFL career, right? Like if he can't make the team here and he gets beat out by rookies, this might be it for him, right? So, I'm hoping that he finds something that he can be able to contribute in some ways. I don't believe that he has much talent catching the ball out of the backfield. We got to see him in regards to, I don't know what his I don't know if we have enough tape to see in regards to how he blocks in regards to certain run schemes and stuff like that. So, we have to see how he does in those things. And if he can be able to find a niche on this team, maybe he can help, in a year that has a lot of question marks. Sometimes you can be able to find guys that can, be a stabilizing force for a few seasons until you figure it out. Right.
Yep.
And I think Royce Freeman can be one of those guys that can be a bridge running back until you kind of find your guy and be able to possibly find your next franchise running back.
Definitely. Well, enough talk about that bum. That's how I segue. Hey, I segue like you just got punched in the face. Enough of that bum. Let's talk about some of our all-stars, fellas. So Micah Parsons skips voluntary workouts.
Now, and this is why Barry wanted to come on the show. He said he has a lot to say about Micah.
Oh, I know.
So
I know Barry and I have been, sliding each other's DMs and got a little Cowboys talk in there between the nipple pictures. So we will get into the Micah Parsons skips voluntary workouts and why the Cowboys pass rusher is reportedly missing from the offseason program.
Ooh.
Guys, so there's been all that talk about the 88 not being around and skipping offseason programs. But Micah Parsons, only in his 4th year, coming up on his 4th year, already deciding to skip offseason program activities. Is this a red flag? Why or why not? Discuss.
Who wants to go first?
I know Barry wants to.
Let's hear it.
No, we're gonna go AJ, add Barry.
Who died and made you the host of the show?
Hey man, I'm hey, producer seat right now. Until I'm on that couch doing screenshots, producer seat.
He ain't wrong.
I'm never really concerned when veterans, and Micah Parsons is a veteran, okay? When they skip the voluntary workouts, it would be a little more concerning if there was a contract dispute a la CeeDee Lamb, but it doesn't really mean anything. These vets do it all the time. And do I think it's like not a good move for a leader of a team not to be there? Absolutely. But I don't know. I think this is more and more common than it has been. And it's going to continue to be this way, where the veterans are just going to be doing their own workout at home and not going to a voluntary workout. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I kind of agree with my bandwagon brother, and even though he's on a different continent right now, it's more so on the leadership factor. I think right now, the defense needs that strong voice, that strong leadership role. So that's where I'd be like, it's concerning a bit to me that he's not there. We know he's going to be in shape. We know that he's not, just not being Micah Parsons. He's working out. He's doing all his things. He's podcasting, whatever. He's he's going to still do these things on the off season and during the season. So the volunteered off season programs are just that. They're volunteered.
Volunteered,
They're voluntary. So it is what it is. But yeah, it just sucks with, I guess, where I'm going with all of the shit that's been going on this offseason thus far with the Cowboys and activity. You would think,
get your fucking ass in there is where I'm
exactly.
at. Get your fucking ass in there. You want to be a captain? Get the fuck in there.
You'd think you would do the opposite of
Is that the first F-bomb that's been dropped today,
No,
by the way?
I did it a couple times.
Oh, you had a couple F-bombs?
And now I also don't, when I do the F-bombs, I'm like, should I not be saying the F-bombs?
No, that's us. That's who we are. We swear. We will always say F-bombs. But your guys' take, so you guys are okay with it? I know someone who is not okay with it. I know someone is seething over in his New York lair, ready to tell us. Barry, what do you think about Micah skipping the voluntary workouts?
Yeah, this is gonna be another possible viral moment for you guys. I think it's a punk move. I think there's a reason why over these years that you guys have been on your ascent for your Cowboys content and as well as the team is that we lack leadership no matter where you look on the field, and we tend to look confused in a season where there's a lot of uncertainty, right? We don't know what's going to happen after next season or after this season, right? We have no idea. This is the time where you expect a guy that's supposed to be your guy, your franchise guy, the face of your particular team to say, listen, we're all going to get here. I'm going to get these guys together so we can be able to do things a lot differently and see how we can be able to galvanize this team and get serious and really lock in way earlier than, maybe other teams are doing. Like, we have a purpose. We have a game plan that we want to go into. I want to be better. I'm going to make sure that I do everything in my power. And it just feels like how it's felt all the time with Micah, that it's very, very me. It's always about him. It's always of the podcast, the excuses, the this, the that. Like it's very on brand for who he is. And this is not somebody that me personally, you want to invest the highest paid or, the highest amount of money for any linebacker or defensive lineman in the history of football. I just don't trust Micah. And this is one of the reasons why he will never be a guy that I support fully.
Because of this, the deciding not to be in there to be the leader of the team.
It's just a weak move where you're supposed to be the rock of this team. Show it. Listen, Dallas would be foolish not to pay you. This is not a Dak situation where, they might not be sure that they want to give you $60-65 million. They want Micah. They are going to pay him. It's just about what the dollars look like, what the language looks like in regards to that. We all know that he's going to be the highest paid at his position in the history of the game.
Possibly
so
defensive.
The fact that he knows that.
Possibly non-quarterback.
This unacceptable.
Very possibly highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history.
In NFL history, absolutely. It's totally unacceptable. And it just shows his maturity. It really does.
And you factor in too. Sorry, you factor in a new defensive coordinator and Mike Zimmer. Obviously, Zimmer. I think Zimmer's got a good enough mind that he knows where to play his players, but there's that camaraderie that needs to come first, and like that trust and that belief in one another, and having Mike and I'm not. Who knows? Maybe Zimmer and Parsons are best buddies on the old MSN chat. I don't know, but
old AOL chat, AJ.
AOL, old AOL, yeah.
ICQ.
ICQ.
Mike Zimmer, yeah. I was gonna say, Mike Zimmer's definitely still using an old MIRC account, and
guys, you know what, and you guys all make good points as far as the physical part about it. Of course, it's not a worry. The guy's a gifted human being when it comes to athletic sports, right? Like he's the top 1 percentile of human beings on the planet when it comes to running and lifting and doing things with your body. The issue is what Barry said is, and you guys both actually brought up, is the leadership part of it. He's only in his 4th year. He's going to get brought back for his 5th year. This is the time for him to be grinding with the other guy. What? What was it? This is the time for him to be working out with his fellow teammates. Okay, I had to think that out. And it bugs me a little bit that he's not. Like, he is going to become the highest paid player. We've screamed a bunch about Micah becoming that leadership, and we've talked about how sometimes that's just not who people are, but you can show it in your actions, and by missing these, that's, to me, a very big telling sign. That's where I kind of land on it.
How big do you think and you know what, before that, let's just, for everyone's take so
I've been waiting. I've been...
Crack him
if you got him. Crack him. Oh, shit, this one's...
Crack him if you got him. Chat's very active tonight. Just a big shout out. Trying to put as many posts on, not to disrupt the flow. A lot of people are saying your comments were fireberry.
Thank you.
Don't let it go too much to your head. We don't want those hot takes coming in.
Yeah, this ain't the 8 o'clock spot, bitch.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I don't know if you guys know, but you know, people hate me on the internet. So I'm just
we love you though.
No, we love you.
I'm a magnet for hate. I'm just saying.
Barry, for the amount of hate that you get anywhere else, our 3 love for you trumps all that hate.
You shield me from all the bad things that they say about me.
Exactly.
Well, look, Barry, you wouldn't be BGJ to us if you didn't have the takes you do, because people might hate you, but I don't really think that they have an argument against what you're saying. And so when you come on here and say what you just said, I mean, people might be like, shut up, ad hominems, but they got nothing to say against what you're about the knowledge you're preaching. So
appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Well, and the thing that I was going to ask you guys, how much of a, again, the word voluntary, and then how much precedence does this have from the organization onto the players? And then how much do you think the players have a precedence? Because they're in the locker room chopping it up with Micah. So a lot of the veterans, the people who were on the team with him maybe the last year, 2 years, or at least the last 2 years, 3 years, how many of those players do you think care about Micah showing up or not to these voluntary practices, these voluntary things,
workouts?
Yeah, these voluntary workouts.
I'll go first, and then you guys can get it. I think the fact that the culture of this team is very, it's weird, right? I think that you can say that there's a lot of diva-ness in this roster, right? With our top guys, guys are just, I think everybody's going to be supportive of Micah, right? Get your money. Like, don't worry about it. Like, we're going to be in your corner because, it's a brotherhood. They're always going to do that. But I don't know how many people are, brave enough to be able to say, hey, I think that you should be doing this, right? I don't think you're getting that from Dak. I don't think that you're getting that from CD. I don't think that you're getting that from Lawrence. I don't think that you're not getting that from any of these guys to be able to say, hey, listen, young blood, we are going to be looking at you as you're going to be the guy going forward. You need to be doing this. And I think the culture that the Dallas Cowboys has is kind of the reason why, we kind of make excuses for them, and they make excuses for themselves for when they don't play well because of these situations. Is that there's just not somebody to kind of take somebody by the bootstraps and say, listen, this is not the way we're going to do it here. Like, what I'm saying? We have to change the culture. We have to do things that we've never done before. We got to probably grow up a little bit as a group, and doing that in these ways is going to help us do that. So I don't know if we have that in the locker room, and I think this is one of the dynamics that we're missing to make us one of those teams that are actually like sustainable to be able to win a Super Bowl. We are missing that accountability thing on this team. We really are. So I don't think anybody's saying anything.
Yeah, it's like nobody told Micah that they were all in. They should they should have grabbed Micah aside and said, hey man, we're all in this year.
Everybody's definitely
we're all in this year. And the thing that irks me the most about the Micah Parsons thing, and it's actually, I brought it up last year. I said before, probably right around this time, if Micah has another 13+ sack season, I'm expecting a holdout from him to get paid, because you're starting to see this from players when they get into their 4th year. If they've produced in their 3rd year or their first 3 years, according to stats, they will hold out. You had Trevon Diggs, who was going to, which was a bit different because he didn't have the option for the 5th year, so he didn't have a safety net. You have CeeDee Lamb in his 5th year this year holding out, which we're going to get into. But Micah still has 2 years left on his rookie contract, right? He's going to get extended for his 5th-year rookie contract. But do you guys think this will bleed into anything more than voluntary workouts?
I don't.
might.
I don't.
Ooh,
you-
whoa,
Confliction.
Yeah, AJ.
No, my only reason that I don't is because he's got to get. They're gonna have to get to that first contract or that contract up first. We know that the Cowboys are going to take that 5th year and not pay Micah and not restructure that contract or extend them. Like, that's just how they do it. And I believe that they have whether or not you agree with the plan, I believe that, Batson has the plan of how he's going to sign these players coming up. And it's unfortunately going to be when they're in their 5th year or maybe even right after, before they're actually going to free agency. But I have another quick little point here on Micah Parsons. Just looking at the depth chart. So we got Micah on one side, we got D'Lo on the other, and then we got 2 young guns, Junior Fiocco and Sam Williams, who, when I step back and think about it, those guys could really use to learn from Parsons and be around him as much as possible. Sam Williams, as much as he kind of frustrated us with some of his penalties and special teams last season, I like the dog that he has inside of him, and he might just need a little bit of polishing, and that does come from being around people who are greater than you, who can get the most out of you, and we need to see that out of Sam Williams. One of those 2 guys. Obviously, Junior Fiocco, maybe a little, for my money, I think he's just not necessarily in that same potential, but I hope I'm wrong about that. But other than Lawrence and Micah, those are our 2 guys on the ends, and they're both young players, 2nd year or 2nd, 3rd years.
Williams is going to be 3rd year, yeah, and Fiocco will be 2nd. Yeah.
But Williams hasn't really stepped onto the field too much, and it seems like he's going to need to take that leap. We definitely, it would benefit both of those guys to have Micah Parsons around, just teaching them, or even just pushing them on that pushing their work ethic.
And you're
a little
talking
bit, showing
about
them what it actually takes.
You're talking about like being there for voluntary workouts.
Yeah,
like right now, like
sorry.
being there right from the get-go, and
Yeah.
that's why it is a red flag. So Barry, back to what because you and AJ had the confliction of fiction. The saying, we said, is he going to hold out? Alex said no, and Barry said yes at the exact same times. Barry, why do you think there's a chance that Micah will hold out this season?
Because of who he is, who he's shown us. He's a very, very me guy. And the thing is, I agree with AJ in regards to how Jerry Jones tends to do his business. However, he hasn't come across a Micah Parsons, right? Micah Parsons is a guy that will say, I don't care the way you do it. I want to get my money now. We saw, Zeke, although Zeke was kind of like his second son or whatever it was, Zeke put pressure on him to get paid, right? And he caved and paid Zeke. I think that you can see the same thing with Micah. And Micah is not going to be a guy that stays as quiet as Zeke did when the negotiations were going down. Micah has a podcast. Micah does what Micah wants to do. And everybody who's around him just has to kind of just like, all right, well, that's Micah. We gotta approach him with kid gloves. Can't really say things too tough around him because he gets sensitive. So, it's going to be a very, very interesting dynamic between Jerry and Micah in regards to how these contract negotiations are going to go. But I don't put it past Micah that he would hold out. I don't.
Ad, what do you think? You're the tiebreaker. You're the tiebreaker between Barry and AJ. Mock J, Draft J. AJ J, because he's in Thailand.
My mind is telling me yes, but my body, when you look at some like Sounds of the Sidelines or Path to the Draft and all these, and Mike is like, I really want to be a Dallas Cowboy, and he talks about my leadership. I'm not vocal. I lead by what I do on the field. We've seen him even just in the game playing against Danucci in chess. Like a lot of the things that Barry's talking about is the maturity level of a player and just how these guys who are at a certain level just operate. Everybody, you need to be on my level or get the fuck out of my way. So I do see him.
So what happens in the postseason then?
What do you mean?
Why isn't he on that level in the postseason? Why doesn't he get on his own level in the postseason?
That's where we're talking about the maturity level. You know, I believe people can grow into something.
Their final form.
Possibly it's the first half of the season. I mean, to say that Micah's not, I saw a bunch of people talking about the postseason. A bunch of people will say, "Oh, he's just the amount of work he's doing in the first half of the season. He's just not able to stay at that same level." And it's like, well, Micah's a fucking premium athlete. There's no way his athleticism cannot carry him the entire season and into the playoffs. But I think when you talk about all of these other things and a young person coming into a lot of money, a lot of stardom, a lot of praise, being in the media, that none of us have any idea what that's like to handle. And the NFL isn't always, or being a professional athlete, you're not really protected, I guess you could say, with that. So it's easy for us to speculate. Long answer short, because I know you're like, just answer the fucking question, Claire.
You're giving us the Claire.
He's gonna. I think he's gonna hold out.
You think he's gonna hold out this season?
Because Barry's mentioned it. There's already a precedence of like, you hold out, we're gonna pay you anyways. Dallas has already said they're gonna pay Micah Parsons. They've said it multiple times. We can't do this with CeeDee Lamb right now because we have to pay Dak. We have to pay Micah. They've said how we could probably find a tally number, the amount of times that Batson and Jerry have said, we need to pay these players. Micah Parsons is always part of that conversation. So when you know that they're going to pay me and you know what other players are going for and you think you're better than these other players, you need to be substantially higher than that, or else I'm going to wait and you're going to pay me.
Yeah. The Cowboys are in a shitstorm of contract negotiations. Usually at best, you're only dealing with one. You know, when it's kind of bad, you're dealing with two. Well, these motherfuckers are dealing with three, dude.
Well, and
they're dealing with three huge market-setting contracts at each position, and this team is dealing with all three of them. And it's because what they're doing with CeeDee Lamb right now, they wait too long. They could have signed Dak Prescott 2 years ago for right now would have looked like an absolute bargain. They could have signed CeeDee Lamb last year before his all-pro season and got him, you know, he probably still would have been a top 5 paid wide receiver. Maybe Cowboys luck out and he's top 8. But right now, he's going to be the highest paid until it's a stalemate between him and Justin Jefferson right now. Both camps are like, no, we're holding out.
No one wants to.
No, Justin Jefferson's camp and CeeDee Lamb's camp are saying,
but it's not just their camps. Where I was going to go, sorry, and I was fucking going on this long tirade. Everybody,
AJ and I do it all the time. You're allowed one a year.
Everybody who's played in the game, who's advising these young players, not just their agents, but people who are out there, like the Shannon Sharps, they're all saying the same thing. Get your money. Hold out. They will pay you. They will. There's an acceptability to it now. So yes, and then you look at a situation like Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. Who's gonna crack first? What team's gonna crack first? Because the Vikings are gonna have to pay big, and then the Cowboys are gonna have to pay even bigger. And CeeDee Lamb would be foolish. Justin Jefferson would be foolish to be the person to take that first bag. And everybody, like players, even people within the organization, are like, yeah, you know, you might as well hold off.
Imagine only getting 130 million and not 135 million. Like,
it's well, but they are athletes. They want to be the best.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely. But that's a good segue. Sorry, AJ, I just want to segue in, and then I imagine it's on a CeeDee Lamb topic that you're at here. So I'm just segueing into CeeDee Lamb not present at start of Cowboys voluntary offseason workouts. That's it.
Sorry, he wanted to go back to Royce. That's what he was about to go back to.
No, I wanted to come back.
About Royce Freeman, like we just
what I just wanted to bring up for all those viewers here in chat, just look down at that photo where you see automatic Aubrey looking like he's stretching his leg out on a ballerina bar. in the bottom left-hand corner.
That's impressive.
That's all.
That's impressive.
Opening those hips.
I would tear everything in my leg if I ever tried to do something like that. That automatic Aubrey, he looks like a straight up serial killer though. If you ever look at his face,
Oh, yeah.
Aubrey, he's got that constant, like 100% focus look. He's got that. He's just going to kick that ball into those two poles.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And
That's Aubrey.
that was a very funny post that you did, Ant, with the photos of all the players arriving and
Going into camp. Most of them looked pissed off, didn't they? Or not camp.
No one wants to go to voluntary workouts.
Yeah, like I would. The only one that looked happy was Zach Martin and Sam Williams.
Like, why do they do the voluntary workouts before the draft? Do you think it would be right after the draft? Like, why are they doing it this week?
So that there's guys that are about to get cut because they drafted still feel like they're on an NFL team. That's not real. I have no idea why they do it. It's just part of the NFL schedule. But guys, CeeDee Lamb not present at the start of Cowboys voluntary offseason workouts. This makes more sense to me because CeeDee Lamb is in a contract year. That's the thing. It makes more sense. It doesn't feel as if it's as much as me. This dude, if he tears his ACL and is out for the rest of his life or has a neck injury or can never play again, he has outplayed his contract, right? I'm not saying that Micah Parsons hasn't, but Micah still has 2 years on his contract. He's still going to make a lot of money in those 2 years. CeeDee Lamb is on his last year. He had a great season last year. He's only got better from his rookie season on. What's the contrasts of these two that you guys feel between Micah and CeeDee not being there?
My perspective is on their position. A wide receiver can be a bit of a lone wolf, right? A wide receiver, I don't know that we're always look, CeeDee Lamb, I'm sure he has a lot of knowledge to share and definitely want him to do that amongst the wide receiving core and the players who, maybe we'll draft someone. Maybe this is the squad that we have going into 2024. But I feel like Micah Parsons kind of playing the role of, even though he's really shifted to that defensive end, but he is the captain or the Dak Prescott of the defensive side, or the quarterback of the defensive side of the football, right? Like the defense kind of revolves around what you can do with him. Whereas CeeDee Lamb, obviously, he's a very important part of the offense, but I've always felt like a wide receiver, like you just let them do what they need to do, and they don't have to be that much of a leader if that's not necessarily part of what you're looking for out of them. It's just make sure that they're happy. And so him not being there, and you're right, the contract year 2, but just that aside, him not being there, I'd be like, yeah, like you allow those wide receivers to be a bit of divas, and you just kind of turn the other cheek.
BGJ.
Yeah, I think definitely he needs to get paid. I see the reason why he would not show up and hold out, because when you look at Micah's production from year 1 to year 3, it's kind of very consistent. He's been kind of the same guy for 3 years, right? Everybody's so over the moon in regards to how good he is, athletically, but haven't really seen him got that much better. You can't say the same thing about CeeDee Lamb. If you look at his targets, his receptions, his yards, his touchdowns, his longest touchdowns, everything from rookie to now has gone up. He's been more productive every year that he's been in the NFL. And that shows a guy that, just like Ant said, that he's outplayed his position. He's outplayed his contract. This is a guy that is literally one of the top 5 receivers in all of football, right? So he deserves the big bag. He deserves to get paid because he's put in the work. He's put in the work to turn himself into a pseudo number 1. Then when Amari left, he became the guy who wasn't really ready. But now we know that he's the bona fide number 1 wide receiver. And he's a guy that can be able to handle 200 targets. You may see him get 200 targets next year.
I hope.
So, it's one of those things where I think he does deserve it, and he has every right to hold out because he deserves his money.
Do you think that CeeDee Lamb is better than Justin Jefferson?
That you know what it is? I think, man, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I'll step in. I'll step in. Yes.
Yeah, listen, when you look in between the numbers, right? I think Justin Jefferson is a lot more smoke and mirrors than a lot of people want to say. He gets shut down a lot by guys that are really, really good cornerbacks. I think CeeDee Lamb has a lot more physicality at the top of his routes, a lot more breakaway ability, and I think CD can be able to create more with nothing. That's just my opinion. So yeah, I would say that CD gets the slight nod, honestly.
Ooh, I like that take.
I like that take also. I'm always going to be that homer. You wear 88 for the Cowboys and you do your damn thing. I mean, I'm looking at PFF Justin Jefferson right now, and he's I'm just going to do the PFF real comparison real quick, just for overall grade here. So you got Justin Jefferson.
We got it. We might as well look at it.
Yeah, we pay for this damn thing.
We fucking pay for it.
Oh shit, I don't know what I just did, Ad. I gotta go to that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Justin Jefferson, 98 targets, 68 receptions, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. He was hurt a bit. He was. But then you got to look down at his overall grades. That's when he was playing. What did he did? 91.1 and 91.2 for overall and receiving. So pretty dang good. Let's check out. And this is just strictly PFF. But let's check out.
What about his blocking?
100. So then look at this. CeeDee Lamb edges him. CeeDee Lamb edges him. Oh my God. Barry, 179 targets. You said 200. Very possible.
That's what I'm saying. He's on pace for that, man. Honestly.
Let's not forget.
CeeDee Lamb wasn't there for the first
5 years or 5 weeks. Sorry, for 5 weeks at the start of the season.
Yeah. So someone in chat said, Divine Gun said Jefferson had like 1K and only played for half a year. CeeDee Lamb put up almost fucking 2K, and he was non-existent for the first 5 games.
So what are they saying that Justin Jefferson? How many games did he play?
I think he might have played anywhere between maybe 10 or 11. I think.
Check it out.
This is none of us are saying Justin Jefferson is not a phenomenal wide receiver, but we are putting it up against 8-8.
I'm putting up my guy CD every day.
Let's say while you're looking for this answer, let's say the Cowboys offense keeps consistent with how much they're throwing the football. Do you want to see CeeDee Lamb with 200 pass attempts?
Yes. 100. Yes.
Okay.
And with the first 5 weeks, if he was thrown at like he was the last, he hits that no problem. Remember, we were saying at the last stretch of the year, CD needs 10 catches a game.
Yeah.
That's catches.
Yeah.
He needs 10 catches. So if you throw it at him 15 times a game to get those 10 catches over a 17-game season, he's blowing past 200, man. Blowing past 200. So 2023, Justin Jefferson played 10 games.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. For 10 games, I mean, the guys, listen, we're not saying that Jefferson is not a great receiver. He's a phenomenal receiver.
Beast,
but if you have to choose between, 1A or 1B or whatever it is, somebody has to go over who. And I just think that CeeDee Lamb is a little bit more creative when it's behind the backfield, right? He can be able to make things happen. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Jefferson is not great. He has great hands. He runs great routes, crisp routes, but he tends to get banged up a little bit, and that's a concern going forward as well. So you got to be careful with that.
I'm telling you this: if I'm the Vikings, I'm trading him. Right now. The Vikings are in full rebuild mode. They're probably going to draft the quarterback, right?
Yep.
I'd be if you're going to draft the quarterback with pick. I think they're closer to 10 or something. Yeah, they're higher up there.
They're looking at Bo Nix.
You don't. If you're looking at getting Bo Nix, you trade Justin Jefferson and you go all in and you get one of the top 3. You get.
Listen, you got Jordan Addison, so it's not like they don't have a potential number 1 guy there. So
this is. I mean, it's crazy either way because Justin Jefferson, he is a very skilled player when he's on, and it's funny. This original. Did I just exit everything?
Royce,
oh shit!
Hey, bring us back to Royce.
Get us off the screen. I exited out of all of our stuff.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
There we go. We're back.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, we're back.
But read that. Okay, boost me up there, bro. Look, read this. Rappaport, CeeDee Lamb, and Justin Jefferson absent from start of voluntary workouts.
Rolando Rodriguez in chat saying that Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb have the same agent. I don't know if that's true.
Let's check it out.
But Rolando Rodriguez, I don't think he would lie to us.
Let's see who his agent is.
Rolando's a truth teller.
Yeah.
Well, you guys talk while I
I
bullshit.
tried looking. I couldn't really find it.
I'll find it.
You'll find it.
Yeah, you guys talk. I'll find.
I think like 100%. Barry's point was really interesting to think about. Justin Jefferson stepped onto the scene and has been who he is consistently through his career. Whereas we've seen CD trajectory rise, even if he just repeats what he did last season for the next 3 or 4 years. I mean, that's phenomenal play. That's top wide receiver in the league play. Whereas Justin Jefferson coming into that injury, is that going to be something that's nagging? And you never want to see it with a player, but if he's only going to be on the field for 10 to 12 games a season, that's a big knock on a guy. That's hard to pay someone that much money. And the benefit that we've had right now with CeeDee Lamb, knock on wood, is he's out there every game, even if he's not being targeted. So you just can't ignore that factor with these running
guys. Breaking news: he lied to us. CeeDee Lamb's agent, right here. CeeDee Lamb agents: Tory Dandy, Jimmy Sexton, CAA Sports.
Ooh,
then you hop over to our boy Justin Jefferson, and they got his agents are Ben Renzen, Brian Aralt, Todd France. Oh, so
they're still
branched. So branched by the.
So it's like Jerry Maguire against Jay Moore in Jerry Maguire.
So they're both represented by CAA Sports.
Yeah.
But they're boosting it with different dudes.
And they're going, hey, Hey, Tony, who's going to fucking crave first, Tony?
You know there's a bet going on between those guys.
They'll get to the coffee,
100%.
Like, you going to sign that deal? And they're like, no. He's like, come on. Hey, Tony, sign the fucking deal, Tony. You know JJ's not going to get that.
Tony Dandy, great name.
Yeah.
That's a fake name. And so Tony, I wonder if he actually goes by Anthony.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, sign it. And he'll be like, fuck you, Benny. Tony and Benny.
So, guys, we've kind of beat to death what we think our all-star players are going to do, but we got a little bit a pressing issue with the NFL draft coming up in a week. And I kind of wanted to look at an article next, and it's at BleacherReport.com by Alex Ballantine, and it's the Cowboys' worst case 2024 NFL draft scenario. So they just go through this funny situational, hypothetical situation. What could happen if the Cowboys were to have their worst draft possible? I just say, look to last year. Just go to 2023 and you will see what happens when the Cowboys have an awful draft. Just kidding. It's still the what is it? We're still waiting to see if that actually happens or not. First handhold of the show. There it is.
It's the Brady Bunch handhold because my hand comes out of my hand comes out of the wall.
Okay, guys, so Cowboys' worst case 2024 NFL draft scenarios by Alex Ballantine of Bleacher Report.
Sorry, and we didn't even ask Barry. Barry, are you cool to keep hanging on for a bit, or were you just?
I can definitely hang on, but once y'all get to the mock draft, I gotta go.
Yeah, no worries. We don't blame you.
Hey, so does everybody else.
We get into this zone of mock drafting. We do it for ourselves, Barry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, listen, man, you guys do a great job. You know what I mean? I just have to be up very early.
No, that's okay, man. That's what I would say too if I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, we get it. Fuck you guys. Yeah, got it. Check.
Okay, I don't really know how this is. Okay, so they're saying the worst situation for the Dallas Cowboys in the first round would be, I'm sorry, just trying to scroll over, missing out on the offensive tackle run in round 1. Guys, discuss how crushing would that be if we miss out on one of the top tier offensive tackles in this year's draft?
I'll go first. It's bad because you look through our biggest draft blunders, and they were all defensive tackles and defensive ends on the D-line. So O-line, it seems like we're not too bad with. So us not grabbing that O-line.
You mean like finding a talent in the first round? Like the Cowboys have been predominantly pretty damn good
with O-line. And from our last episode showed that we're not great on the D-line.
Yep. Okay.
Hey, we're not good with the D in Dallas.
Not good with the D in Big D. AJ or BGJ?
Yeah, I'll take it, AJ. I think they're definitely right in regards to if we miss out on offensive linemen in the first round. But I'm gonna go say something a little deeper. If they do that, I think it speaks volumes to where they are or where they're headed. If they don't want to invest into a strong offensive line because, you got some great quality guys out there in the first round, that just tells me that they are moving on from Dak Prescott. They're not going to invest heavy
Put those
into the
sunglasses.
offensive line until they find their guy.
Put those
So I
sunglasses
think
on.
that's one of the things that we have to watch. If they choose to go somewhere else, then that's kind of probably an indicator of what they're going to do, towards the offseason.
It's like you're sitting on your hands that you don't want to grab your sunglasses to put it on and go all in on the All Even podcast.
That's the honest thing. I think that if they don't, because if you're not going to go get yourself a strong line, then you really don't care about investing into your quarterback long term.
Right.
So that's kind of, it goes hand in hand, honestly.
Yeah, and even with a rebuild even if they're eyeing a rebuild around a new quarterback, a new stud, which we all, everyone hopes that's what you get when you're looking to change up your franchise quarterback to someone new. Me and Anthony and Adam have always said, like, we'd rather you start building that O-line first and get some sort of quality players to protect them, because too often when a franchise quarterback is drafted and they fail, then we can look back to Carr. Was it the Texans or Titans? Texans.
And
Carr played.
Yeah, you can look at tons of quarterbacks that might have been good in the year because of what you're about to say.
Yeah, and they just did not protect the quarterback. They might have had a bunch of special weapons, but if he doesn't have time to throw the football and he's getting sacked 70 plus times a year, of course, like, how much can you really put the blame in it? And it's really sad to see talented quarterbacks never be able to develop because they're constantly being smoked behind the football, behind the line of scrimmage there. It's something that I think is just a big red flag if they do not go and get an offensive lineman. Now also consider, and I've been saying this since I started watching the Cowboys, but at some point in time, Zach Martin's going to hang up his cleats. Then we've got another major hole to fill, and replacing Zach Martin, it's just not going to happen. We need to find someone competent enough to play that position. But you will not find a replacement for Zach Martin.
My hope with Zach Martin is he's the first player to play till he's 65.
He's the first guy who he takes that stuff that they take in Fallout and he becomes a ghoul eventually.
Just take some Alpha Brain from Joe Rogan and you'll be golden.
Eat some of that avocado ice cream that Tom Brady was eating.
Yeah, get some avocado ice cream.
That fucking pliability guy. When would you see a team draft linemen for depth that are just there to sit behind a veteran fucking guy?
Well,
it's not like a quarterback where you draft a quarterback, have Jordan Love sit for a few years, have Aaron Rodgers sit for a few years to then take over that position. I mean, the linemen, I don't think we'd ever see that happen. No, I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I'm just saying that.
I think my point was just being like, drafting, like, we've got our left tackle. Hopefully Steele bounces back after that, can we say that it was his rebound year last year because he was on an injury and maybe he's going to step into his 2022 form in 2024. Okay, just for the sake of argument, let's say that. But we still got two big question marks, on the offensive line, depending where Tyler Smith goes. So finding just one person to come up and shore up that line in the first round, that's what you got to do, because like I was just saying, if and when Zach Martin decides to hang up his cleats, at least then there's another strong three-pillar players on that team, or on the O-line.
Well, and the thing, they say missing out on offensive tackle, right? Like, yeah, there's a lot of great offensive tackles, but if you miss on some of those tackles and you still get a Graham Barton or a JPJ, a guy that can play multiple spots on the offensive line, I'm better off. I think this should have been missing out on offensive line run in round one,
right?
In my mind, because there is still some good players that will be available. If the offensive tackle run happens, that means there's going to be good interior offensive linemen where then you, like you said, Alex, you have Tyler Smith jump out to left tackle and we run and gun. So, like, the Cowboys might not even be drafting a tackle, right? They might not
Right,
draft
just an offensive lineman that you can be able to move around.
exactly, just a very switchblade-esque offensive tackle. So I'm going to say this for us: if the Cowboys miss out on an offensive lineman in the first, I think that is bad. In my mind, offensive line, whether it be center, guard, tackle, that has to be a round 1 pick for the Cowboys.
I know, but it would be tasty for a fucking wideout or a running back.
I mean, if Brian Thomas Jr. got selected, if he falls, he's one of those guys. He's to me, Brian Thomas Jr. is to me for the Cowboys fans should be like the Bijan Robinson of last year, where yes, we didn't need a running back last year. Oh yeah, if Brian Thomas Jr. falls to the Cowboys at 24 and they take him, I won't be mad. I won't be mad about that. Okay, guys, we're going to move down to the second. They have one of 3. Number 1 was the offensive tackle not getting selected. Next one will be.
And guess what? We're not reading.
And we don't read all the work that he put into this article.
Right.
We just read the headlines. And
we skim through it, baby.
We steal the topic. I gave credit.
Credit the topic.
Did I actually?
I don't know. We'll go back up. And
Yeah, it was Alex
credit.
Bernstein or something.
Alex Bernstein of the Bernstein Bears.
Yeah,
for Bleacher
exactly,
Report.
Bernstein.
Yeah, for Bleacher Report. So, guys, number 2, the worst things that the Cowboys could do is reaching on a running back, where I was just like preaching it. They better in round 2.
They better take a running back in round 2, or else I'm going to not suck anybody's D.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I had said. But do you guys think,
I don't like that.
Talking about this, reaching on a running back, we'd have to read their thoughts of this, but what do we consider reaching on a running back?
Round 1.
Yeah, that would be a fucking nightmare if they did that. Yes, that is.
I think even round 2 could be a reach as well. Like there's always such a girth of running backs in the draft that, special guys, you can get them in any late round or mid round. You know what I mean? Like you don't really have to invest crazy unless there's somebody super special that you feel is going to be your guy day 1, right? Like, and even guys that are drafted in the 4th and 5th round end up being guys day 1, right? So it's really it's not common to do, right? So you can be able to wait. So I think that definitely reaching for a position that we know that we need, the world knows that we need, not panicking and giving into that temptation. I think just kind of getting some quality picks. You know that you're going to be able to get a good quality running back later in the draft. So just kind of sit tight. Have a wide board of guys that you're going after, so that those guys come off the board. You're not grasping at straws of who to get. So I don't necessarily believe that they have to reach.
And yeah, like for me, a reach honestly would be going and getting Jonathan Brooks. As much as I believe that he can add a significant amount of value, I just don't think the Cowboys have. If they had a 4th round pick, it might be a little bit more easier to swallow. But they're probably going to have to take Brooks with that 2nd pick, and that's a little too rich for my blood with what we're seeing with the rest of these running backs. Like ideally, Jonathan Brooks goes a few picks before the Cowboys in the 2nd round, and then we're looking at a 3rd round pick. That's ideal, right? But to spend a 2nd round pick on a running back, as much as it's a necessity, it's just it doesn't feel like that's a big enough game changer. And I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong if they do go that
You're
way.
right.
It doesn't seem. Yeah, it's just not a big enough game changer position when we have other needs.
Adam?
If we look at like where we drafted, let's say Schoonmaker, tight end, that was a massive reach, right? So
hey, fuck with me, Ad.
so like
Fuck with me, Ad.
The thing that I would be very disappointed with is if we go ahead and we draft, let's say, a running back in round 2, and it's not somebody like Brooks, and it's a running back that we could have gotten in round 3 or later. And I think that like when the Cowboys will get very set on their players, and they don't care where they're projected to go. They'll draft them, like we saw with Mozzie Smith. I don't think Mozzie Smith was on anybody's target at that pick, and same with Scooney. So
yeah, but the Cowboys needed a defensive tackle last year. They
But-
needed a defensive tackle. That's what everyone told me on YouTube.
You know what? It's running. YouTube told you that.
YouTube told me that.
So I
trust YouTube, man.
I-
You trust YouTube.
I never go against the algo.
yeah, but look. I want a running back. I do want a running back third round, fifth round. I will be happy with a running back in those 2 rounds. And I don't think that's a reach.
So I'm going a completely opposite way of you guys. So you guys are talking about the running back being a reach, but any running back taken in the 2nd round is an automatic start for the Cowboys. They automatically are the starter for the Cowboys. You draft him at 2, he is starting over Royce Freeman with 77 carries. He's starting over Rico Dowdle with 89 carries, and he sure as fuck is starting over Deuce Vaughn with his 23 carries. If you draft a running back in the 2nd round, he is a day 1 starter. The Dallas Cowboys have not drafted day 1 starters with their 2nd round pick in a long time. They've actually reached on in the 2nd round on tons of players. And if they reach on a running back in the 2nd round, he will be a starter. So to me, I think.
What if they reach on the wrong one?
I don't. He'll still be a starter. That's what I'm saying. Schoonmaker didn't start. Wasn't planning on it. Calvin Joseph wasn't a starter. Right. That's another 2nd round pick. Jalen Smith. He was injured when they drafted him. Not a starter. Right. So that's just guys I'm thinking of in the recent time here. If they draft a running back, he will be the starter right from the get-go.
I think there's guys in round 3 and 5 that
Probably could too.
that could contend for that starting role.
You're right, but
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
For my first 3 picks, I want guaranteed starters.
Yeah.
1st round has to be a starter. 2nd round has to be a starter. 3rd round,
you better believe it be a starter.
So it's not guaranteed you take a running back in the 3rd round that he will start. You look at our running back room, and yes, it is almost a guaranteed. But all I'm saying is, some guys think even a running back in the 3rd round might be a reach, right? I don't care who they take and when they take the guy at running back, as long as he's starting. And I think that's a win. If you get a guy in days 1 and 2, and he's a starter from the get-go, it's a win. It's a win in my mind. Jonathan Brooks, though, I will say, like, I do feel like that's a bit of a reach, just because the injury stuff. Like, I would rather wait. I would rather wait till the 3rd or 5th round than take Jonathan Brooks in the 2nd. I will say that.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Well, you also said, and as we move on to this next point here, you've also said you don't think Brooks is going to be the first running back taken in the NFL draft.
I don't.
I think we're going to see Benson. I think we're going to see possibly.
I think Jalen Wright. I think Jalen Wright could go ahead.
Listen, you guys got to remember, Jerry Jones loves his running back.
He does, and he's a Texas guy. Like you got Jonathan Brooks' story. He will sell a lot of jerseys. He will, and a lot of people are mocking Jonathan Brooks. And you guys are right. Like what you guys are saying with the running back class, as you're seeing in the NFL drafts in the last 3-4 years, because a lot of value is going away from them. There is a lot of gems later on, right?
Yeah.
I just don't think reaching is a term that I want to use as long as the guy starts. Because the 2nd round historically for the Cowboys has been dog shit. The Cowboys, I should say, have burnt those picks basically. They've just thrown them away. So a 2nd round pick to me, if you get a starter, it's a home run. But don't reach. What's chat think, Ad? Let's get some chat before we move on.
Man, okay, so
I know Ad's probably just been itching for the chat.
No. It's a little overwhelming because chat's been very active tonight, and I love it.
We love you, chat.
AJ's been kind of in there chatting with chat,
Nice.
so he's trying to take the people's
Chat Jay.
Chat Jay's trying to take the people's. He's trying to be the people's chant Jay. EJ Savage, our boy from Boys in the Zone, he's also part of the Grid Network. Would be very pissed if we pick Brooks in the 2nd.
I agree with Brooks. I agree with Brooks in the 2nd. I would not be happy with that.
He originally said, "I'm with AJ. Brooks is cool, but I'm not spending a 2nd on him."
So we know that EJ is very analytical. So he's not gonna like that. He's not gonna like that at all.
The facts, Jenkins Gaming, very active in the chat tonight. He's our boy. He says the facts we always reach in 2nd. Not a lot of Iceberg Slim Brooks Jerry's jersey sales win for Jerry Jones, so kind of hits up what you were saying. Gus says reach for Crackems, not busts. And
there
then
we go.
Hey, and then Radical 808 says AJ final boss. That's a nice That's a nice little WWE.
I will
reference
say
there.
this. So one way for all of our arguments or for what we said to really kick us in the balls is if Jonathan Brooks gets selected in the second.
Oh yeah.
I think that sums up all of us. Like
Listen.
I wouldn't be mad with the running back in the second. I just want it to be Trey Benson.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
You know what? I think we're very the Can Fan crew is very optimistic. We're very excited. As soon as someone becomes one of us, we're fans of that person. Unless your name's Deuce Vaughn. AJ was not a fan of Deuce Vaughn and necessarily Mozzie Smith. So I do think
he was right.
And he was right. And he was right.
AJ was right about Deuce Vaughn. We were all kind of right about the Mozzie Smith pick because we weren't really stoked on it. And
except the YouTubers that wanted to tell us that we were stupid.
Dude, we got fucking flamed for that. So
don't worry, I went back.
Yeah.
I went back.
I know you did. I have no doubt.
I went back to 8-month-old comments and asked, "How's he doing?"
But I was
petty. I am sorry.
I will. Hey, if Brooks is, I'm a sucker for a story. If Brooks comes off, he's a Texan. He's from Texas. He's from the Texas University. So jersey sales are going to go up. I'm a jersey guy. I'm gonna have a Brooks jersey.
I'll get a Brooks jersey. I might get a Brooks Longhorns jersey, to be honest, if he gets drafted.
Like it,
because that's what I do. Okay, so the third one they got going on here, and actually in this article they took a picture of Notre Dame running back Audric Estime. So I mean, I don't even know who that guy is. So let's hope we don't.
God,
reach for him.
Please don't draft.
Oh, look at this one. So look at this one, fellas.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Drafting Drafted and
jacket.
Drafted and jacket.
Drafted and jacket.
Welcome to the Dallas Cowboys Can Fan Show, where you can't ever mess up anything.
Because you will get fucking raked over the coals.
Drafting Jackson Powers Johnson in the first round is they're saying is a mistake.
So this is
Interesting.
This is a lot of people. I mean, we've taken JPJ multiple times, but there are, Barton has been a massive person that a lot of the Cowboys Nation has been wanting. We've seen it in our own community, in our own chat, that everyone's talking about getting Fraser. I'm hot on Mims right now in the first round, so. JPJ with the injuries, we just talked about all the we draft injury prone guys. JPJ, I wouldn't be mad about him, but there are other dogs out there that we could possibly get. I don't know if it's a mistake. I wouldn't put this 3 of 3, but I'm not a JPJ guy as much as I was in our 1 through 5 versions of our mock draft. I just tried to say it as quick as possible so I can just sit back and listen to what you guys have to say about JPJ.
Well, you failed.
Yep.
Just kidding.
I fucked myself.
I'm just kidding. What do you guys think? What would drafting?
I just told you what I thought.
I know you did. Drafting Jackson Powers Johnson, fellas, WayJ or BGJ. What do you like? Would this be a mistake?
Well, I mean, what do they got him graded? The second, I think the NFL.com has him the second rated center on the board, right? So it's hard to tell, man. Like the injuries is what concerns us, right? Like, there's one thing about offensive linemen. Offensive linemen get banged. They're banged up every game. Like, guys are always, getting rolled up on their knees, all this stuff. You have to get guys that are going to be there and can be able to be there for 17 games, right? That's what you're drafting your offensive line for. You're not drafting guys that play 9 games like Tyron Smith was doing the last few seasons. Like, you need guys to be there no matter what. And if there's durability and injury concerns going into, his professional career, that's a concern. That's something that you can't kind of like blow a first round pick on. You know what I mean? Like, because you can't get that back. You can't be able to, gift somebody durability. It's either they have it or they don't. And sometimes, it's one of those things where a guy can't really avoid the injury bug. It's just something that happens to them. Maybe they have weak joints or whatever it is. It's just not in the cards. And, I don't know how he's going to hold up. I don't really think that he's that impressive. He could turn and be a really, really good pro going forward. But there's a lot of question marks more than you can say, you know what, that's a sure fucking pick.
Yeah. WayJ?
And look, if JPJ's on the board and he's amongst say Graham Barton or even Tyler Guyton, either one of those three guys, I would be very happy with. And if that injury concern is true and legitimate, I shy away from injuries, right? Because the last thing you want to do is bring someone in who's only going to play. It was fine when Smith was only playing 10 games because he was a veteran, and that was fine. We knew what we were going to get when he was on the field, and if he needed to rest, so be it. We just needed him to come and be healthy for the playoffs. With these guys, like you mentioned, we're drafting the first round pick. He's got to start all 17 or 18 games whenever we make that. Are we playing 18 games this season?
17.
25.
17. Okay.
Just 18 games. Just 18 games with your heart, baby.
That's right. Well, whenever they make that jump, like you want this guy to be able to play his entire rookie contract without missing a snap. Like that's the ideal offensive lineman that you should draft. So if there is a concern that JPJ might have some lingering issues, I push him lower against those the guys. Even Mims, like Mims is not a guy who I think is going to be ready to start right away. Won't be at his full potential if he does start right away. But if he's going to avoid being injured, then okay, put him ahead of JPJ. So that's my mindset. And I know Jackson Powers Johnson probably has the best name of all of them.
Yeah,
he's got Powers in there and he's got Johnson. But look, we cannot rely on name alone for this pick.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you're going to draft somebody with that 24th pick, it's got to be a pretty secure thing. And the teams do interviews, they do medicals, and the Cowboys are going to have more information than any of us on this. So if Jackson Powers Johnson is there in the first round, and the Cowboys have been very good at drafting offensive linemen in the last 10 years, if they go on and don't draft him, it's because there's legitimate red flags about the injury.
Right.
If they go and draft him, I'm confident in what they draft. So if he's there,
I agree with you too. And if they do, because like you said, the track record speaks for itself, right? So we have a very, very good system in regards to how to develop our linemen, and we just have a kind of innate ability to understand that, guys may not like the pick, but we know exactly what we got, what we have, and we know how to develop them the right way. So, spot on.
One of the most hated picks in recent memory when it happened was Travis Frederick. And everyone was like, "What the hell? Why did they take this dude?" And he was probably one of the Cowboys' best draft picks in the last 25 years. These guys
100%.
know what they're looking at center. So if they do take him at 24, I'm all
You're
on.
happy with
I'm
it.
happy. If they move past him, I'm like, okay, well there was a reason, right?
EJ Savage says he's only played center for 1 year. He's got a ton of raw power and athleticism that you can't teach. I personally like the pick at 24 and love the pick in a trade back scenario.
Oh, trade back scenario. Like the guys AJ mentioned, Guyton. So if Guyton, Barton, and JPP are there and the Bucks are saying, hey, we got the 26th pick, we want to trade up for one of these guys, and you're going to get one of those three no matter what, plus
Zegamaboosh,
plus
baby.
a third round possibly.
Yeah.
I'm all in for that. That's best case scenario. That one of these, like the best case scenario for the Cowboys draft is they get to 24 and there's multiple offensive linemen still there that they could trade back because there's a team that wants to trade up to get, Worthy or Donnie Mitchell or one of these skill set players that the Cowboys aren't necessarily looking for.
Jenkins Gaming says, be smart if we want a center, move down and draft Fraser. Then EJ says, Fraser is a dog. Kid broke his leg and crawled off the field because his team didn't have any timeouts to avoid a penalty.
Yeah, that's sweet. See, and I'm good with that too, but so if you can trade back at Fraser, there's a couple other good centers also in the draft. So again, if Jackson Powers Johnson's there at 24 and the Cowboys don't select him, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I am okay with it. And if they do select him, I'm also okay with that.
Yep.
Zegamaboosh. Well, Barry, we are going to move in to our mock draft version. I don't know, 58, I think it feels like at this point.
Yeah, Barry, since you're not staying on for the mock, why don't you tell the folks that are listening where they can find you? You launched a new show a couple weeks ago.
Thank you for the segue. I appreciate that, sir. I just created the BJ show. It's pretty much an interview show where I interview a lot of interesting characters. I had my very good friend, the spiritual whistleblower. She says a lot of wild shit. and you know, she's just very true to herself, man. You know, we did 20 million views across social media the first time, and you know, this is kind of hovering around anywhere between you know, 5 and 6 million. We're talking about clips and stuff like that. So you know, definitely gonna have some more interviews coming up on the stretch for the All Even podcast. I mean, you know, we continue to push on and move forward. You know, like I said, I'm a very, very hated man online. People don't like what I say, and I don't really care. So if you want to go ahead and chime and, you know, argue with me or say I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I'm always there to catch a laugh and be entertained by whatever I see in the comments. So you can catch me at All Even Podcast on all platforms. You check out the BJ Show as well on Instagram and YouTube, on TikTok, and you know, just continue to push on and create fun content, and you know, listen to my boys, the Can Fan guys, and get some Cowboys knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
And you missed also, you are going to be on the Draftacular Extravaganza.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
yes.
he is.
Those
I will, and I'll make sure that I have a sign for that show, because I would love for them at some point to draft the quarterback.
Barry, we love you, buddy. We can't wait to talk to you in less than about a week, I guess
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Which that's a good split. That's a good split right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Week and a bit, maybe.
Week and a bit.
Week and a bit.
8
Week and a
days.
bit.
8 days. 9
Week and
days.
a bit,
8
week and a
days.
bit.
Thanks for popping on, Barry Grant Jr. of the All Even Project.
Now, of course,
podcast.
man. You know, I thank you for letting me crash the party. Love you guys. Continue to ascend, man. You know, I'm very proud of y'all.
Love
Thanks,
you, bro.
brother.
Later.
Much love, Barry.
Peace.
Okay, so I made it almost an hour and 40 minutes without peeing yet. So
He's good. You're is that your segue to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I got to.
Yeah. Okay.
Ant's gonna go pee. We're gonna get into this 7-round mock draft. Before we do that, ad, I'm sure you got some chat to bring up.
Okay. So Iceberg Slim says Jackson Powers Johnson is a violent, athletic freak, strong, mean. He makes Dak Prescott better. Blue Virus, who we met at the training camps in Oxnard this past summer, says, and we need a
And we're
great
going
center.
back.
And we're going back. We're back at training camp. Iceberg also says Zach Fraser is a mauler, good mobility, can get to the second level physical. He's a second he can work though. You know, he's a second
sorry,
he can work too.
And I cut you off right when you were gonna say what Blue Virus was saying. So
Oh, that's okay. I said and we need a great center is what he said.
yeah, and I think the consensus from what we're kind of seeing is offensive line. However you dice it up, whichever ingredient you're adding to the pot, the offensive line needs to be that first round pick. And I love a trade back if it's going to add another pick for us, because I was going to say, ad, where am I?
Sorry, I was used to the two screen thing there, but I got.
Did he go floating into
good.
space, into
just disappeared.
Zoom space?
Yeah.
I just fucking got rid of his ass.
I went full Creed mode there.
Can you take him higher?
You went full Creed mode.
Well, ad, you're going to get us flagged with that rendition.
Yeah, that
know.
sounded bang on.
Chat wants to know, are we spinning the wheel today?
No wheel today, guys.
No wheel.
No wheel today, because we've done a couple wheel ones. We've done a couple wheel ones.
We did a couple wheel ones. Okay, can we just can we have no rules on this one? Can
Okay,
we trade
yes.
players?
No,
Can we
yes,
do
okay.
like
I was gonna tell you.
or do we want to just give ourselves position? No, you know what? Okay,
I was just because I want to know. I want to get the Can Fan board up more.
Yep.
We can do whatever we want to as far as trade backs, trades ups, tradesies, whatever. We just have to draft a player we've never taken before. That's all I ask. We're a week away from the Can Fan draft extravaganza. I want our big board to be as full as possible. The only way to do that is to get guys that we haven't taken.
So we will have to probably make moves.
We might have to trade back to see. No, well, yeah,
But
that's the fun of it.
But so do we want to try to be logical on this thing?
Yes, we have to be logical.
Yes.
You can't just be like, okay, like if say we at 24, there's not an offensive lineman. Well, we got to trade back to a spot where it's going to make sense to take Fraser.
Okay.
Right. That's what I mean. Like I want us to logically take players that we haven't already selected in any of our prior mock drafts.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I just don't want to take a. We'll get to the point where we don't want to. Someone who makes the most sense is right there, and then we take someone below.
Then you trade back.
Okay.
You trade
Well,
back. Jackson Powers Johnson, his injury history. You don't like it.
Okay, so then let's just make that's the one rule. Then we cannot take someone that we've drafted.
That's the rule. Okay. That's it. We can do anything else that we want to.
Okay.
We just can't take.
WayJ, do you fuck with that, or are you pissed now?
No, I'm totally fine with it. I was gonna say, but let's also lean into chat.
Yeah,
for,
chat's good too.
Any disputes.
I'm good with that.
You know?
So what do we want to do? We want to go public versus.
First
yeah, I've been waiting for this one.
Got him.
I was thinking about waiting for the first time we ever drafted a first round pick, but crack me if you got him.
Got to do it beforehand, boy.
Crack me if you got him, son. Okay, we're gonna do.
I'll tell you this, Ants, you were just asking about public or PFF board. I'll tell you this: if we go full public like you did, we're going to get some different players.
Let's go full pub.
100%.
Full pub
or 75% pub.
So, okay, yeah, let's do that.
Can't go full pub.
Let's do that.
Yeah, okay.
Can't go full. You never go full pub.
Never go full pub.
You never go full pub.
Never go full pub.
All right, this is the Cowboys Can Fan version 9 of the mock draft.
No, this is version 10.
It's
version 9 was last week. This thing right here is a little bit old. This is version 10, baby.
All right, well, here, just tell me when you're ready so I can redo the intro for when I clip this for YouTube.
Yeah, 1 sec.
Adam, can I suggest we call it version X?
Yes, I like that. Good call.
Oh,
Roman numeral.
But what will
a little Fast and Furious.
What will happen with with Madden when they called it Madden 25 for the 25th anniversary, and now it's actually Madden 25 coming out. What happens when it's our X draft, Alex?
Okay,
then what do we do?
Go ahead.
Welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. Now I'm all fucked up. Welcome to the Cowboys Can Fan version X. Mock draft, 7 rounds. We're going 75% public. Obviously picking as the Dallas Cowboys. WayJ, you're kind of mock J. You've probably I've ran a lot of these, but I know you've ran more. When you're rolling public kind of at about 75, 80%, do you keep the rest of your sliders this way? Are you going care for positional value, draft needs, and randomness? Are you keeping those?
Let me just say I have. So when I ran the public board, I was just testing 100% public, 100% PFF. But I don't mind because what we can do with the care for position value, the draft for need, and the randomness is you can kind of take, okay, we're going to use the public board, which is wild, by the way. It's fucking wild. But you can kind of cheat a little. So either we just go all in, let's have what the public says, or what I have done in the past is I've bumped up both care for position and draft for need up just 1 slot, and then I drop randomness down 1.
That evens it out a bit.
And then, you
know what? It was already set for that. It had already done that for us from the last time we did it. So
okay.
So I think we're rolling with these settings here, fellas.
Let's just do this. This kind of compensates a little bit for the public board.
For the crazy ass public
believe that
board.
we're gonna see some new players.
All right, so we are rolling. I got it at Mead speed because that's how we do. Grab yourself a chang. Okay, we're starting draft. Let's see what we got here.
Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison, Mike Neighbors, JJ McCartney, Dallas. JJ McCartney went like
JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy went like 5th.
So we are coming up to the Cowboys pick.
Brian Thomas Jr. Bonex is gone, and now we're up.
So we have right off the bat, Jerzan Newton, defensive interior, top-ranked player. And then, so I'm just going to read out guys that we have taken in the first round for the Dallas Cowboys. We've taken Amarius Mims. We've taken Jackson Powers Johnson. And I think that's it as far as all of us together. And guys, we got all the trades in the world right now. All the trades in the world.
Trade back.
Yeah, I think we're trading back here, fellas.
We're trading back. We're doing what we hope the Cowboys do. To get a little bit more, and it's always Tampa Bay, and that's not bad.
So let's just
2 guys off the board.
I mean, you might be able to even move back. I guess you want to trade with the first guy because you'll be able to get the most out of them, right? So we want to trade with Tampa, don't we?
Well, you'll get more if you trade back farther, but this way we don't lose. We still get a quality pick with Tampa Bay.
Hey,
and we can definitely pick up.
What do you think about Arizona though? 27.
20,
should we just flirt with what we can get?
Just flirt them.
Let's flirt.
So Tampa Bay, I'm trying to trade 24 for their 26 and 57. They ain't going with that. We could get 89 from Tampa.
I kind of want to it would be nice to see if we get in the
So 27, I'm trying with Arizona now. I think we try this
Ooh.
here. I think we just try and see what
All right.
happens. See if we can
Yeah,
trade our
that's all right.
24th to 20. So we trade back to 27, but we also pick up a 71. They've also received that 71 pick from Tennessee. So let's see if we get it. We boosted it. We boosted
got
it.
me.
Boosted?
We boosted it.
Whoa!
Hey, Arizona, you just been booed.
You just been
Hey,
boosted.
Arizona, guess what? I got a news flash for you. You been booshed.
Okay, so one thing I like to look at is who they decided to draft with. Who they took Nate Wiggins.
And then Amarius Mims went. No big D.
Okay. And then Maris Mims, who we've taken, so we weren't going to take, and then Adonai Mitchell. So we're back up here,
We're
fellas.
back. Hey, boys. Do we do another trade?
No, because that's not realistic.
Okay, so
I would love to, just to see how many we could get.
go down a bit. Look at no, okay.
I mean, Zach Fraser, I don't mind, but that would have been like
I don't mind.
we should have traded back to like 30 something. You know what I mean? And then
True.
hope that he hit.
But we're not gonna take a D lineman in this first round.
And
No.
And you got me like I just smoked a nice line of, I don't know if it's a line of meth, but I am flying high right now. I don't care what you draft because we got a 71st pick.
We did. We did good there.
We've never taken Fraser.
Yeah,
We've
but
never
that's
taken Fraser. Have we taken Peyton Wilson?
no, not in the first. We talked about today. The only reason I'm saying not Peyton Wilson is we all talked about not wanting to take Jackson
Yeah,
Powers
right.
Johnson because he has injuries.
Yeah.
Peyton Wilson 150% he's had like 13 surgeries, so I don't think he's there.
The
I'm kind
Bionic
of mad.
Man?
I'm actually a little bit mad that we should have tried to trade back a little bit further, just so that we could have made the Fraser pick make sense. I'm
Yeah,
also
but
not.
we did look. Let's not look at. We're looking at what we need, okay? And
Yeah.
let's not look at the board.
Okay, fair,
because,
fair.
You know, we've heard a lot of guys talk about Zach Fraser. I think what I need to see is his draft buzz photo.
Oh,
you know how
you
His
dirty
size
dog.
is good. His size is good. So
Yeah.
far, his size is good.
Let's see him. Let's check him out.
Oh, Jenkins is throwing out Kool-Aid too, which, man, it's not a smart pick, but it might be a really good pick.
We've never taken Kool-Aid. He's just asking if we've taken Kool-Aid.
We've never.
Oh,
I
sorry.
mean,
No,
look,
we haven't.
you could beat Zach Fraser. Hello, same lineage as Zach Martin.
Yeah, very similar looking. I want to see his intangibles here for size. I mean, nothing crazy, nothing really jumps out unless you're looking at his hands. He's got some monster hands on him. Weight's good. 40's not great. I mean, he's very, as far as athletic
Short
ability.
arms.
As far as athletic ability goes, he's not
How-
something that you take. He's not a guy that you take with your first round.
How can you measure a heart though in there?
Well, you can't, but you
And
also that's more. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Go down to his strength and weaknesses.
Scroll down on Draft Buzz. Just scroll down to his overall rating here. So up above this, his overall rating. We want to see what we want to look at is pass block. So he's pretty good with his pass blocking, run blocking, and he played against a quality. He played against quality teams at 77% average. So
draft
just taking
projection.
that into consideration.
Jenkins is
Second
saying
round late.
Jenkins saying he ran the 40 with a broken leg.
Still, draft projection, late second, overall ranking is number 61 and position rank is number 13. So he's ranked 13th out of
So
interior offensive linemen.
Do you think we'll be able to get him next round then?
No. We should have traded back to a spot where it makes sense. We're not taking him at 27, fellas.
Ooh, and that's it.
Sorry. Kool-Aid McKinstry, let's check him out. I can be sold with an athletic freak who's, maybe not the position we need.
So you're not happy taking him at the level that we're taking him.
No, it feels like
we need to move back even further.
The Fraser pick screams Mozzie Smith to me. Sorry. It just screams
and
Mozzie Smith to me.
Absolutely, and guess what? I also need to know
Cool
what
hair.
type of Kool-Aid are we drinking here? Is this red Kool-Aid? Is this blue Kool-Aid?
No, tropical, because look at the two highlights on his dreads.
I like it. I like it, the dread highlights.
If you mix up green Kool-Aid in front of me, I'm gonna knock that glass over. Get that shit out of my face.
Not great either here, guys. Like, not great measurables for a first round pick for me.
Yeah, but
And then
look at it.
first mid overall rank. Look at this overall rank number 24. We're picking at 24.
But G says, do
Cool.
not drink the Kool-Aid.
Okay, for that alone, Fellas,
Guys,
we're in a
is
predicament
it
here.
Franklin?
I mean, we've never taken Troy Franklin.
I think we have. Or maybe AJ and I just really liked Troy Franklin before. He got better. Troy Franklin got better every year. First look, Franklin might get lost in the shuffle of a loaded wide receiver class, but he shouldn't.
Which we don't.
His smoothness comes from his athletic profile and his confidence in knowing how to win at the position. He needs to continue to get stronger, but overall, he's a competitive player who can be a good wide receiver too for a vertical NFL offense. I don't think that's the Cowboys. We kind of got ourselves in a little thing here.
Well, why would you not trade back? See about trading back. See if you can trade back. What are
Well,
the
of course
trades?
we're going to be able to trade back, but it just doesn't seem real to me to trade back. Usually you trade back and you have a guy in your mind, which we've kind of pitched.
Which would be Jackson Powers Johnson then.
No, it would have been Zach Fraser, and we should have traded back to like 30, 31.
We are.
Well,
hang on, though. We are
things.
also limiting ourselves from players that we would take.
Yeah.
Yes.
At this position. So a trade back to get let's pick the player we want to get.
Okay.
If we're going to trade back.
Yeah. So that's Fraser for me.
Okay. So Fraser's at 33, so we can trade back, say, to like 30 to realistically get him.
Fuck it. Let's just do it. I'm going to 32. I'm going to 32. I'm going to 32, and you know what? We're going to boost it up here. We're going to do some crazy stuff here. Okay, we're going to try this. We're going to try to get the KC Chiefs 32nd pick and their 64th in return for the Cowboys 27th overall and 174th. Let's boost it.
Let's boost it, baby.
Oh!
You've been boost.
Do you have like a forced trade thing on there or something?
No forced trades, baby. Just, hey, play in the room. Play in the room.
No, before you resume, let's see Fraser get taken off the board here.
Guyton, Chop Robinson, Fraser, welcome to the team.
Okay.
There's our guy.
That's who we're taking. That's who we're taking.
I feel better. I feel better about this. Zach Fraser, welcome to the team.
Zach Fraser.
No, nothing.
Oh,
Jenkins,
sorry.
And sorry, Jenkins Gaming just said should have traded with KC and taken Fraser, and that's what we did.
That's
We
exactly
did.
what we boosted.
We boosted it, Jenks. We got it. Okay, here we go, fellas. Ooh, okay. So we're sitting here at pick 56, fellas. And interesting enough, running backs are gone. So I'm going to show you here because I'm gonna select running back, which I think I scrolled down too far. Blake Corum, the top rank, and actually Blake Corum, these must be updated PFF rankings because he's the 52nd. He's up there now.
Did we haven't taken him?
We've never taken Blake Corum.
I think we take Blake Corum.
But you don't want to reach on a running back.
No, but
no. I said the wrong running back.
And we got 56 and guys, listen to this. Yeah. We have picks 56.
So, hey, you're gonna give AJ a fucking Red Bull heart attack right now.
AJ, we have picks 56, 64, 71, and 87.
Yeah, but boys,
you know
we're laughing, bro.
That's crazy.
You know that Vince McMahon meme where he's like, things get better and better, and he's like, oh, that's me right now.
I'm telling you, if we don't take Blake Corum here,
we have to.
If we don't take him here, because we're doing so right now, the exercise is we can't draft players we've taken. We've taken Jalen Wright. We've taken Trey Benson.
Bucky Irving, we could take at 71.
We've taken Ray Davis before.
Okay, so Bucky, if we don't believe Blake Corum is the guy, and we have another person that's available right now,
I'm fine with the flyer on Corum here, though.
So am I.
Yeah.
And he's a Michigan boy. I don't even need to call Chris.
Boost me up with his first look.
Yeah, let's get it.
He's a little short. You might not like him, AJ.
So I just want to see his overall grade. Had an amazing 2022. Got hurt, but look at his touchdowns. In 2023, he had 27 fucking touchdowns.
Oh my gosh.
27. Look at his college career. 2023, 27 touchdowns, 2022, 18, 2021, 11. So every year he got 7 plus more touchdowns.
Daddy likes.
That's pretty impressive.
And he's not really sexy in that yards per average in terms of college football, but if he's going to average 4.9 yards in the NFL, Sign me up. He is a little bit of a small boy.
No, but he's a
weighty.
husky. He's a husky small boy.
He's
a bowling ball.
husky.
They call him bowling ball.
For reference,
Corum was not as efficient in the individual metrics of running back play after his meniscus tear, but the traits of an effective back were present in 2023, specifically toward the end of the season. He lacks elite overall athleticism, but is precise, sees the field well, has good contact balance, and brings good third down abilities, which should yield a contributing role in the NFL.
Draft buzz.
Running right behind our brand new center we drafted. Let's get a draft buzz of Blake Corum. I'm leaning towards Corum here, guys. I really am.
You're hearing no arguments from me.
Yeah, and
I like his look.
And we're flush with picks right now. So
We are like it seems free almost. The pick
He
feels
look-
free.
He does look like
small.
he might be. No, he looks like he might be a stunt double for Wolverine in the new movie.
And he
there with
played for the
Wolverine.
Michigan Wolverines.
Right.
Look at those legs though.
Michigan.
Yeah, look at those quads.
So this is the thing. So you're not loving his 40 time, but if you look at his shuttle and his 3-cone, which is what you want from a running back, those short distance type runs, and his 10 yards not awful, and his vertical's not like he's got burst, and look at his bench. 95 percentile of benching.
He plays for the Michigan Wolverines. He looks like a Wolverine, and he's stacked. I mean, he's a bit taller than Wolverine by being 5'8". I think Wolverine was like 5'2".
Yeah, he's short, yeah.
But fucking strong and wide.
And he's out of Marshall, Virginia. Let's bring him to the team. I think we're taking him, fellas. I really do.
Take him.
It's a freebie. Blake Corum, running back out of Michigan.
And
Welcome
the
to
new
the
running
team.
back for the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome to the team.
Okay, hold your hat because we're going to be going again here pretty quick.
We're going to get. I love that pick because we saw the run on running backs. We needed to get someone, and now we're right here in the thick of it. We took Edrin Cooper before.
Can't take Coops. Can't take Coops. So guys, we haven't taken Christian Haynes, who Mike Poland from Blogging the Boys.
He liked him.
No, he didn't, because he was a right guard. He said the
Right.
the one reason I'll get you off of Christian Haynes, right guard, and so that holds true. Then you got Malaki Corley. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Marshawn Nealon, who we've taken. Is it Malachi?
I'm assuming it's Malachi.
Have we taken Nealon?
We've taken Nealon before. We've taken Nealon.
Okay.
We've taken
Andrew Phillips, Brandon Dorless, Rook. We've taken Ororo. Jalen Wright, we've taken. Brandon Coleman have not. Junior Colson taken. Blake Fisher have taken. Jermaine Burton taken. Trey Benson taken. So
guys, this is going to be tough for us.
It's going to be, and we can't trade. Like we've got our trades.
We should have made the first couple rounds. We couldn't take the same people.
No. This is good. This is a good exercise. So we got to think right now. We took a center with our first overall pick. We took a running back with our second. What do we feel like's the biggest need right now for the Cowboys?
I am not against taking Christian Haynes, even though I love Mike Poland, and I was not mentally there on the last cast with him, so I do not remember him.
I was there, and I don't even remember him saying that. About Christian
AJ,
Haynes.
this plays into you saying, "Hey, Zach Martin's retiring eventually." Like Zach Martin's retiring.
Yeah.
Sure, you have Haynes only playing right guard. But it's going to be easier for a right guard to compete with a left guard and possibly get that position. So I honestly don't hate this pick. He got better. Well, he was all right in 2021 and then was just very good for 2023 or 2022 and 2023. He's 6'2", not the tallest, but he's 313.
And look, we drafted Tyler Smith to be our left tackle, and he's situated in left guard pretty nicely. So I know that you're kind of switching, you're putting a mirror up and you're switching the whole dynamics of being a guard and having to play off instead of your right foot, your left foot, or whatever that might be.
Yep.
Playoffs. But in terms of like needs, I don't mind shoring up that line a little bit more with a Christian Haynes. And either we have the guys on the team to beat him out right now, or we don't.
Yep.
And that's the facts. Plus, we also got 71 and 87.
Yeah, we have two more picks
Yeah.
within the next like 20 picks essentially. Like we have two more picks after this.
Chad
so.
said take a wide receiver, so that would be Malachi Corley. But Jenkins,
Malachi?
Okay.
Malachi, and then Jenkins Gaming is saying Doris. Check
Okay,
out
let's check
Doris.
him out. So Malachi,
Yeah.
Malachi, yeah, he had a good 2023. He had last 2 seasons 11 touchdowns. Not the craziest amount of yards, but yards per reception in 2022
Very
and
nice.
23 are very good. Receiving grade 82.5. Not bad. Let's see his size. 5'11", 210.
Like
So he's a
looking in the mirror.
he's a stocky boy.
Looking in the mirror.
And I've adjusted my personal preference for that tall wide receiver because I dived in to the successful wide receivers over the last 5 years, and they all 5'11" is still a little bit on that shorter side.
Yeah, it's like
but
6'1",
not-
like 6'2"-ish is kind of like the,
Well, that's what I wanted, but you actually look at some of these wide receivers who are able to perform in the modern day NFL with the rules being very generous for the offensive side of the football. 5'11", which is probably more like a 5'10", and as we got to go have a look-ski at this guy.
Oh yeah, good call.
But look, he it's not a big as of a knock as it was for me previous. Just throwing that out there.
Man, he's stocky. 250, 5'11", 215 draft buzzes. That's beefy, man.
Malachi.
That's beef.
Not terrible speed, 4.46. He's not flying. The rest of it, the only measurable that he has that they call green or good is his weight.
Okay.
So not great. Let's see what he is as far as overall rank. He's number 57, positional rank 14. At the end of the day, this is a freebie pick for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like this is essentially a freebie pick.
Do we and he's so we're going basically offense with these first 3 picks. The other
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let's do it. Fucking hey,
I'm honestly fine taking one of these guys and hoping the other one, if we take Malachi and Christian Haynes is still there, we got our 2 picks. So
dude, let's go.
Let's go. Wide receiver to Western Kentucky. Welcome to the team.
Malachi. Woo.
Christian Haynes off the board.
Phillips is off the board.
Knew it.
And then Doris just went off the board too.
So Doris was talked about. So Phillips was the top defensive player. Nealand also, but we had taken. So now we're looking. This is where it gets a little greasy for us because we've taken row your boat. We've taken Jalen Wright. Haven't taken Brandon Coleman. We've taken Junior Colson. Taken Blake Fisher. And this is the thing. Jermaine Burton would be a nice pick here. There's a lot of nice picks.
Trey Benson is
Trey Benson.
He's fallen.
He's fallen.
He's fallen.
So we're looking down here. Like I wouldn't mind.
Spencer Rattler is that who you're talking about?
No, definitely not.
Lot of offensive guys here.
A lot of offensive players, fellas, and I wouldn't mind a defensive player, but let's check out Brandon Coleman. I feel like Coleman could be a good depth piece at this spot. Ooh, terrible 2023 though.
Was he inged?
He fell off.
He fell off in 2023. There's just nothing good about what he did in 2023.
Don't even give him a second.
If you look at this though, he did play left guard a little bit, so he played a little bit of left guard. Where in 2022 he was all about that left tackle. I just
the left tackle.
those colors kind of like his 57 grade in 2023 kind of scares me off him.
First look me.
Okay, all right, I like that. 6'6", 320, ideal size.
I like his size.
PFF big board 70, so he's right over in the range of where we're picking.
Dudes, we've gone center.
Have we taken Blake Fisher before?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's a right tackle.
Fisher King?
He's a right tackle.
We haven't taken Fisher King.
He is a right tackle.
Listen, we've gone center, we've gone running back, we've gone wide receiver. Give the team a fucking quarterback. Let's take a look at Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler.
Or my boy, but we could get Joe Milton later.
So either of these two guys we can get at 87.
Okay.
Either
so
any of these guys will
Okay.
be at 87.
But I
Plus,
also-
we've drafted Joe Milton, so we
Okay.
can't take Joe Milton.
Okay, so Spencer Rattler and Michael Pratt.
They're on the board next. They'll be on the board. So we got to think here. I don't think we've taken Blake Fisher. I think it's between Blake Fisher and
No, we gotta go Fisher King.
Fisher King.
Yeah, unless we want to do double halfbacks and take Bucky Irving.
We can't. We've taken him.
Fuck me, man. We've taken a lot of boys.
Let's check out what Blake Fisher looks like.
Sometimes,
fellas.
when we talk about these guys and we never take them, we spend time talking about them. It ingrains into your head.
Look at the fish.
Oh yeah,
Look at the fish. I would buy.
looks like he would be sized up right beside Zach Fraser.
Guys,
What's
I don't
his blue?
His broad.
his
broad.
broad jump.
Okay, so he's got real big, powerful legs, and Poppy likes that. I'd
Hey,
like
man.
to wrap my hands around.
I'd like to see if you could.
Fucking can't fucking bench worth shit though. Jeez.
No, but college. So overall rank 117. Ooh, that scares that away from me. NFL Draft Buzz has him at 117, where PFF has him at 73. There's too big of a.
Yeah,
There's almost too big
but
of a
also-
gap.
it's true, but also keep in mind. Look, we're running a public board heavy, and we're also limiting ourselves. We're just trying to look at dudes. So
Well, what about Brandon Coleman? You want to look at that dude?
sure, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I like the
He looks so. I mean, look at his green athletic monster.
okay.
Athletic
Welcome,
fucking
hey,
monster.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team.
That alone,
Wow.
he's an athletic freak.
Okay, welcome to the team. Fuck it.
Overall rank, terrible. Don't care. I'm going on this pick because it's a freebie essentially. He's also Texas Christian University, just down the street from AT&T Stadium.
You know the Joneses love
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team. The frog, the TCU horned frog. Welcome to the team, Brandon Coleman.
Bring him onto the team. Let's get him in the showers. Let's see what he's made
Yeah,
of.
see what he's got.
Let's meet gaze him a little bit.
You got it, Birdwatch. Okay, now we're going down. Here he is.
All right,
Here he is.
this is
87. Our original.
Our original, exactly.
Oh man, it feels like it's been forever since we've been here. You know?
I think we got to scream defense here, fellas.
Yeah. Dallas Cowboys unprecedented trades all their picks for just an entire offensive rebuild. Hey,
so hear me out.
Renardo Green, we never picked him. Hunt, we've never picked.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. Hear me out with these edge. I've always been seduced by an edge rusher as I'm doing my mock drafts and our mock drafts together. And the reason is because I feel like any more amount of disruption that you can add on that defensive side of the ball to their offensive, to the offensive side, we've seen Micah Parsons gas out either in games or just in season alone. And God love the man. He's a formidable force. But if we can just take away a couple snaps a game from him, so he's a little bit more healthy,
Fully
I think
boosted.
that a full boost, Micah Parsons is better than a half boost, Micah Parsons,
Okay.
any day of the week. So let's have a look at these edge rushers.
Yeah, let's
and
take a look at Jalix
you know,
Hunt.
Jalix Hunt. Let's check him out. Hey, man.
You're happy that I said that name instead of you, right?
The X is silent. It's just Jelly.
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 Jolly Hunt.
Yeah, Jelly Hunt.
Jelly Hunt got, 2021, 67, 2022, 76, 2023.
Pass rush grade is in the blue.
Pass
he's
rush
pretty good.
grades in the blue. So last year he had 8 sacks. He had 5 hits, 24 hurries. Nothing to scoff at.
Jolly Silent X Green is, or Jolly Silent X is what AJ was just talking about.
A lot of the outside tackle is kind of what he went with.
Yeah.
Let's get a first look here. See what we got for size. 6'4", 248. Not bad. Very Micah Parson-esque in size. Well, we got to get a little draft buzz.
Get a draft buzz, and then chat has someone else that we want to take a look at.
Okay,
too.
who? Let's hear it.
Green, Renardo Green would be the next. He's the cornerback.
Okay, CB, yep. Renardo Green out of FSU.
Green is a very good corner. He can come in and be a slot corner helping J-Lu.
So here, for me, I'm
all American.
I'm looking for just measurables really. So this guy has nice measurables.
Yep, not a lot of red. His
Jolly
weight is-
Silent X has good measurables.
Shitty bench. Fucking get some chest work on there, bro.
19, but he's fast, and we're working on. We want him to bend the edge.
Yeah.
His span's good. His 10 yards good.
His 40's good.
Okay, so and then Renardo Green.
Renardo Green.
He's in the workout room and he's squatting. He's not doing the bench, and I respect that.
Yeah, I agreed. He's like, well, why did I work on bench? I gotta bend the knee around people here, son. So Green, Renard,
Florida
there
State
he
right
is.
there.
Florida State. I wonder, our guy J-Tuck would know a lot about this guy. So 6 foot, 186 position. They're saying he's a safety here, Ad.
He's a cornerback listed on the board.
On the board. I mean, he's quick. He's well, we got to check him out, because if they're calling him a safety here, but calling him,
Chat's saying that you draft him to play slot.
well, let's see what he's got here. Hey, again,
we like the positive progression.
Renardo Green, positive, projection here. A lot of
Positive
corner.
progression.
No, he's played a lot of corner. That's
And-
all he's played, really.
Yeah. Weird that they draft buzz. Sometimes draft buzz just fucking.
But that's because he might not be a outside corner in the NFL. So that's what they might be saying. He plays slot in the NFL, but that's not terrible either. 6 foot, 186. It comes down to, what do we think's a bigger need, defensive end, and
Okay.
this is between us. Defensive end with Jolly Silent X Hunt. Looks like he's got all the intangibles to be,
Boosh
or
it up.
Renardo Green.
What's our next pick after this one?
We're a ways
Oh,
away,
yeah,
so
we're
this
gone.
is
Yeah.
important. This is
We're-
important.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What's more important?
I don't think it's time to make and I'm not saying that the chat saying Green is a special teams move, but I think this is our last pick to try to add someone who's a starter.
At least
So-
rotational. At least
Rotational
at very most
rotational player.
rotational. Yeah.
And that's leaning me towards
Jolly
the
Silent
old
X.
Hunt.
Jolly
old
Silent X.
Hunt
Welcome
man.
to the team. Okay, that's
Dial-
enough that
Yeah.
I need.
Welcome to the
Silent X.
team.
Welcome to the team, Hunt.
Out of Houston Christian, Jolly Silent X Hunt.
Whoa, we went back to back God teams.
That's what you do sometimes. Texas
Hey,
Christian
sometimes
to Christian. What was that one? What school was that?
I don't know.
Something Christian.
Guess what? It's gone now.
You know Jerry Jones trusts in the Lord when he's eating that salted McMuffin.
You knew who brought salt to the table? Jesus.
Jesus. Jenkins Gaming wants to know, is Hunt better than Sam Williams?
We're gonna find out. And
We're gonna find out.
you know what? It's a good thing that he could push Sam Williams, because we're gonna get the best of both worlds there, my
Yep.
friend.
Because then Sam Williams
Here's
goes
the
into
thing.
rotation, and then Hunt goes into specialty,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
won't get
Yeah,
and won't get those fucking penalties.
All those
Look,
picks that
you
we
got-
just had, those were all freebie picks. Like, if one of those guys, you made at most two, if two of those guys, the point
House
of this
money.
the point of this exercise is to make that can fan
Yeah.
board bigger.
Yeah, make that can fan board fucking
That's
juicy.
right. Yeah, because you're absolutely right, Ant, because there's guys that are going to be on our board when we do our top 3 positions for each round. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I think so. But I think we'll do that, and then I think we have everyone we have, and then we rate them from best to worst, and that's our board.
Yeah.
And then we see where they all went compared to how the NFL drafted. I think it'd just be funny to cross-reference how we drafted with how the NFL as a whole ends up drafting.
Right. I love that.
So we are now picking at pick 216. We got 3 left. We've basically we got a bunch of picks here, fellas. Which
Well, look
is
at all these
sweet.
halfbacks. Where the fuck did all these halfbacks come from?
They came from Alabama, Washington, UCLA.
Have we actually taken Jace? We've looked at them every
Yes,
single draft.
We did. We took them. We took
Okay,
them
okay,
in
good.
version. I want
Want
to
to
say
make sure
6.
he's on the board.
Jace is definitely on the board.
AJ Barner, we've never taken.
Out of the guys here, we haven't taken AJ Barner, Carson Steele, Jawan Briggs, Christian Boyd. I'm for my argument's sake, I think it's a defensive interior pick here, fellas.
Okay.
Mhm.
Uh,
There's two right there. Yeah,
we're gonna
absolutely.
juice up we juiced up the offense. We boosted them as much as we could. Now we got our defensive end rotational piece last pick. Now we're looking for
Okay,
some
well
pieces here.
let's just hone in on 219 and 220. And let's
That's
go.
who we're gonna check out. Briggs.
Okay.
Ooh, not great.
Too much.
I don't
of
like his size. I'm not. I want to see the other guy before I even dive in. Briggs was only 297.
Okay.
Oh,
I like
Boyd
that.
screaming at me. Christian Boyd screaming it out. Oh, yeah. 6'4",
Yeah,
317. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team. And then look at him and draft
Okay,
us.
yeah.
Well,
AJ, let's hear.
AJ? What are you
hear
gonna
him.
say?
No, I'm just. That's all I'm saying is I gotta have a gander
gander?
at him. It's not gonna
Yeah.
change my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
enough. Let's get a gander at Christian Boyd.
So Christian Boyd, and then or what? Are we gonna take a look at the fucking other dude who
No, Christian Boyd's the guy. Like, that
shouldn't have the dreadlocks because he doesn't fit his motif, but.
No,
Just
yeah,
fucking with him.
your cheeks should never extend past your dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Like that would be my
That's
issue.
true.
Like my cheeks are too, like, but I still like his look. He's you're getting to the part of the draft where
the colors don't really matter.
as far as his hands,
No.
arm span, 40, weight, yeah. But now I think we need to check out the other dude, Juwan Briggs.
As long as we see one blue or
That's not his.
green,
That's not his weight.
that's not his weight exactly. And he
I
had
like
a good
his look
bench,
too, actually.
so-
His bench. Wow, strong
Well, we'll have-
motherfucker. Holy shit,
Well,
99
good thing.
Hey,
percentile
the only positive color there.
is blue
blue
for
is
his
his
bench. 99
Hey.
percentile.
We like our strong guys, but guess what? Juwan Briggs, you're not part of this team.
No, I'm going with Christian Boyd just for his size. AJ,
Yeah.
thoughts, thoughts.
Yeah.
Welcome to
I'm
the
already
team.
clapping.
Welcome to the team.
I've
Christian Boyd.
never felt more sure about someone in my life.
Christian Boyd.
Christian Boyd.
Okay,
Lock 'em up,
we're moving
lock
we're
him
moving
up.
down to our last two picks, fellas, and I think it's been a successful draft. I don't know what we will grade out.
Oh, man,
and-
we still have 2 picks. Jeepers.
So I don't hate a quarterback just for us to have a quarterback on the board. You got Carter Bradley and Austin Reed. You also got Frank Gore Jr., who I don't mind. I think we've taken
Have
before.
we taken the bloodline pick there?
Yeah, we've bloodlined him. We've had the bloodline draft.
Also, real quick, I think when we get to divvying up our board, I think we each get one non-drafted player that we can add on
Ooh,
just in case we thought we had drafted him
Gotcha.
and then we didn't.
So yeah, we'll have to look back at all our drafts to figure that. Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Bocce saying get Gore Jr.
I think we've taken him before. And this is the thing. We're at the point so far in.
We've never taken Carter Bradley.
We've never taken Carter Bradley. Let's just get a look at this
What?
board.
Sorry, before you take Carter Bradley, what other quarterbacks are available? Because if we can boost another QB in the next pick, we could do that.
Well, let's see what Carter Bradley looks like here first. South Alabama.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God, he
fucking nerd. He looks like
looks
him.
exactly how I thought he was
him and Aubrey could fucking hang out.
He looked exactly how I expected him to look.
That guy sold me my car.
Oh, totally.
yeah. No, he sold you your car.
What about this guy? Just for a
Car
great name.
insurance.
What about maybe we'll get him next? Bub Means. That is
Yeah.
the name of the draft.
Yeah, Bub Means. Hey, bring up a picture of Bub Means from
Bub Memes.
from
That is a
Pittsburgh.
great name.
Come on, Bub.
We're going into photo mode now.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
I like Bub Means. Oh my God, he is actually
Ooh.
Whoa.
he is athletic freak at this point,
You
guys.
think we could get him next round?
No, I don't.
You don't think? So?
No, I don't. We're at 233 right now. Bubs is 238.
No, you're right.
Guys, he's an athletic freak.
Take him.
Bub Means.
Hey, yeah, you're
Athletic freak
him on.
match.
But hey, before you do it, can you just bring up QBs?
Nope,
I just want to see
nope,
what QBs are.
nope.
I want to see what QBs are left.
No, not doing it.
No.
Like
no,
who are
no.
you thinking that you know here?
No one.
Like,
Tua Tagovailoa.
And
It's the public board. Someone might have fell.
I like how ads like bring up quarterbacks and we don't know any of them.
Yeah, we do. Bloodline pick.
Hey,
We've
knock-
already done it. We
Knock
can't
knock.
pick him.
Guess who's there? Bub Means. Welcome
Bub
to the
Means,
team.
bring him on.
I'm not mad with Bub.
Bub Means athletic freak.
Is it Bub or Bubs means?
It's Bub Means.
Man, should we take 2 QBs and take Austin Reed?
I kind of want to just take back-to-back Pitt players with MJ
sorry, we
Devonshore.
I say, we took Frank Gore though.
Can
Right.
pick up Austin Reed. This is like an offensive. This one turned into an offensive powerhouse draft.
Just did it.
Oh, you did it.
I just did it.
You just boosted it. Okay, don't pause before our grade. Pause before
For
our grade.
what? Yeah, but I'll just zoom up here.
Okay,
We're
zoom
not
up.
gonna see. We're not gonna see.
Let's
the
just see.
grade.
Let's just see our.
Especially with all the picks we had.
Give us a draft buzz off Austin Reed. We fucking looked at the insurance
Probably
salesman.
looks like a dork.
For sure. If you're not drafting a dorky quarterback in the 7th round,
Austin, what was his name?
Austin Reed. Sounds like
Was
a
it with an
superhero
E?
name.
Or was it with an
Austin.
I?
Austin double E.
Double R.
R double ED.
Double E. Double E.
He's not even on fucking Draft Buzz.
Yeah,
was-
he is.
Double E.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Yeah,
Uh,
kind of looks like a.
Oh, I looked at this guy.
you did
I
look
looked
at
at
him.
this guy. Yeah.
Give me. Oh,
He
lot
looks,
of. Hey,
he looks like maybe he's 16 years old.
Yeah.
a lot of dehydration in
Getting
those
off
colors.
that guy. Don't care about him anymore. Don't care about him. So they're saying we should have taken Peyton Wilson instead of Zach Fraser.
Yeah, well,
Okay, fellas, you ready? So
Hey,
we're just going here. We're
Let's
going to
do it.
quickly go through this. So we had our trade. We traded up, or we traded back our 24th for the Cardinals 27th and 71. And then we didn't like where we were sitting at there. So we traded the 27 and our 174 for
Yeah.
picks 32 and picks 64 with the Kansas City Chiefs.
some people call it a Zegamaboosh.
And then our very first pick that we took, Zach Fraser, with a
B.
solid B. We'll take it.
That one's for you, Jenkins.
We'll take it. Zach Fraser, solid B. Second pick, we took Blake Corum out of the Michigan Wolverines.
A B
Himself,
plus.
B plus. We'll take
Okay,
it.
Okay. Okay. Hey,
Halfback.
Not bad. Not bad.
It's a
not bad.
need. We talked about reaching. Let's hope it wasn't. Third pick,
Malachi Corley with an A minus.
A minus.
Hey.
Yeah, wide receiver out of Western Kentucky.
As we go down, we go up.
we keep doing it.
Let's get an
Yeah.
A.
Brandon
Oh,
Coleman,
okay, still an A minus. Okay.
A minus. We're
Okay.
boosting.
We're
We're getting
boosting.
better as the draft
And
goes.
guess what? These are all free picks. Almost.
and these are all offensive. All
Yeah.
this is the all offensive
The re-
draft.
they're
Did we
gonna-
go D on the next one?
People are going to say, did you rebuild with this?
We
Ooh,
did.
B
We went
minus.
Jolly Silent X Hunt from Houston Christian, B minus.
Knock it-
So a Texas school. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Houston Christian.
Then we have Christian Boyd from Northern Iowa, defensive interior, B
B
plus.
plus?
Hey, fellas, we're doing okay
We're
here.
not doing bad. We're
And then
boosting.
the man, the myth,
Bob
the
Means.
legend out of Pittsburgh, Bub Means with a
Bub.
solid B plus.
Bubsburg, as they like to call it.
Our last pick of the draft, the dorkiest looking player in the whole
A
entire
plus.
draft.
A plus. No,
Austin
B
Reed, B
minus.
minus. Let's
so
guess.
We're going to get a solid B, I think.
I'm saying B plus.
I say B minus. B
I'm,
minus.
I'm saying B plus.
think
So B plus, B minus,
B even.
A minus.
Whoa!
Let's go.
Hey!
Let's go. All players we've never taken before. The Dallas
You
Cowboys.
download that?
Dallas Cowboys. Oh yeah, here. Let me.
That's how you fucking boosh it, boys.
I don't even know how to do
I'll
it.
do it. I'll do it before we exit. You're just.
Yeah, I'm
you're-
all messy. Okay, yeah, we will download that. Man, that was a fun one. That was good. All players that we've never had on the Cowboys Can Fan draft show before. So that was version X of our mock drafts. And we will be back on. How do I do this ad?
Push red.
We will be back Wednesday for the main event. Sorry, Sunday for the Sunday service. Only 2 more shows until the actual NFL draft. 1 week away. AJ will be back in studio in less than a week. All I gotta say, crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Grab yourself a check.